Savard out on the face-off here with the first period. Bob Miller.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. As the Kings win the draw, Duchesne sends it down in the Chicago zone. Here's Nichols behind the net, tipped away from him. Out along the boards to Wayne Presley of Chicago. Up to center ice now. The Hawks move into the Kings zone. Duchesne pokes at it. Savard had it there. Here's Savard. His pass stolen by the Kings. Up to center ice. Here's Duchesne to the Chicago line. He gets bumped, but he still has the puck. Gets it back to Carpenter. Tipped away from him. Blackhawks come back to center. Presley can't hold it there. Coming back is Bernie Nichols. Nichols, number 19, and Carpenter, 11. Nick, 9 shots apiece in the last game they played at Buffalo. Puck is at the blue line of the Blackhawks and taken by the Hawks now. Here's Dennis Savard, second in the NHL in scoring. Drives one from center ice. Save made by Healy. Puck taken by the Kings and sent by Taylor back behind the Chicago net. Mason cuts it off there. Blackhawks moving left to right as the game just underway. Kings change on the fly. Jimmy Carson's line comes out. Blackhawks with it. Puck driven in by Troy Murray. Wide off the boards. Murray goes for it right wing side. He drops it in now to Vibe. Here's Rick Vibe behind the net to the blue line. To Manson shooting and a save. It was deflected and Healy got his glove on it. Puck taken on the right wing side now by Vibe. Vibe obtained in the offseason from Toronto. His pass in deep. Kurt Fraser sends it wide. Puck is poked out to center. Here is Carson down the right wing. Chicago zone. Carson with Robitaille. Carson drives behind the Chicago net. Up the middle. Shot by Hammond. He's banned on it partially. And we've got Dave Taylor knocked down behind the play and he's shaken up. The Hawks clear it all the way down in the Kings zone. Taylor shaken up when he got bumped behind the play, but he stays out on the ice. No score first period. Here's Jimmy Carson up to Paul Fenton on the left wing. He drives it in the Chicago zone. 18:10 to go first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Glad you could join us tonight at center ice. Dean Kennedy takes it away and fires it right back behind the Chicago net. Blackhawks struggling on the road. And now the Kings in front. Bourne shoots. Save. Rebound. Bourne again and a shot wide by Bugsy Erickson. The rebound came to Erickson. He shot it wide. Here's Fenton. He tried to give it to Erickson. Broken up by the Hawks. Bourne got stopped at point-blank range. Now at center ice. Loose puck taken by Ben Wilson. Wilson for the Blackhawks, and they go offside of the King blue line with no score in the first period, but the Kings came close. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
No score early first period. Paul Fenton with some good forechecking steals the puck, centers to Bourne on the backhand, who was stopped by Bob Mason, and the Kings had a second chance. Erickson on the rebound of Bourne's shot, but Mason comes up with the big saves here early.
No score first period. The puck back in the King zone. Backpedaling is Kennedy. Plays it up on the glass. Out to center ice. And it's chased down into the Chicago zone by Gary Nyland. Nyland lost it in the corner. Taken away by Larry Playfair. Tried to give it to Bob Kudelski out of his reach, but Kudelski comes over to throw a check. Chicago brings it to center ice now. Passed by rookie Brian Noonan. Deflected down into the King zone, and Kennedy behind the net. He gets away from a check there by Wayne Presley, but Presley with it. Shoots, saved by Healy. And Kennedy comes back to take Presley out from in front of the net. And they slash at each other, and we're going to get penalties. Now Kennedy drops his stick and glove, and so does Wayne Presley. And Kennedy throwing some right hands at Presley. Uppercuts. Dean Kennedy just pounding away at Wayne Presley of the Blackhawks. Now they've separated them down in front of the King net. So Dean Kennedy got bumped, and then Presley came back and slashed at him, and they're going to get penalties, and we'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Yes, Mrs. Ferber. I'll be right over.
What's up?
It's down.
Dean Kennedy in the penalty box for the Los Angeles Kings. The penalties at 2:55. Kennedy is joined by right winger Wayne Presley of the Blackhawks. A little scrap. Starts behind the net. Presley had made a pretty good backhand attempt on Healy right before that. Then Kennedy rode him into the boards behind the net. They got the sticks up. They each were going to get, and did get, 2 each for slashing. Then they glared at each other at the whistle, and then they dropped the equipment and went at it. Kennedy, bigger of the two. Dino, 6'2", 205. Presley's only 5'11", 175. So 7 minutes to each player at 2:55.
Troy Murray out to take the draw for Chicago against Bob Bourne just inside the King blue line. Bourne wins the draw. Back to Jay Wells. Wells behind the King net, feeds it off on the right side, and it's cleared out to center ice and back into the Chicago zone. The leading scoring defenseman in the National Hockey League is on now for Chicago, Doug Wilson. Pass to center ice, broken up. Duchesne flips it back on the left side. Here is Butsy Erickson, Chicago zone. Drops it for Fenton with a shot. Hits somebody, comes to Duchesne. His shot tipped just wide. Now Fenton drives behind the net. Got it to Butsy Erickson, taken away. Out to the left point, Wells shoots. Kick save made by Bob Mason. He got his right leg pad on it. And the Blackhawks try to clear it, and a whistle.
Vive is going to get 2 minutes for high-sticking Wells as Wells pinched in on the left boards to keep the puck in. Vive skated by, had his stick up. It looked to me, Bob, when I first saw it was unintentional, but Vive, for clipping Jay Wells, is going to get the penalty for high-sticking.
So the Kings will go on the power play with a chance to take a lead in the game. There's no score so far. Rick Vive, number 27, came over from Toronto. Harold Ballard said he's all washed up. He's only got 17 goals so far this year.
Right corner of your screen on the simulcast, Vive gets the stick up. I think he had just turned, Bob, to work on the offense, and he's getting a 5-minute major. Wells did not appear. Well, now they got 4 minutes up there. He might have gotten a double minor, 2 for high sticking and what, another 2? Or maybe just a double minor for high sticking. Bob Murdoch can't believe it. Former Kings defenseman, first-year Blackhawk coach. Of course, the last 5 years an assistant at Calgary under Bob Johnson. Kings on the power play, 12th in the NHL, 19.8. Penalty killing, the Hawks are second at 85%.
Yeah, Nick, it is a double minor for high sticking, so the Kings with a great chance here to get out to a lead. Here's Bernie Nichols behind the King net. Kings moving right to left as you join us on radio and TV. Puck is brought to center by Nichols, tipped away from him though, and back into the King zone goes Jimmy Carson to Taylor. He tried to give it to Hardy. Hardy didn't get it. Look out, Savard comes in. He's pulled down. There's a penalty to even it up. Hooking against Hardy, and you knew that was going to happen. Sure. You knew that all it took was for somebody to touch one of the Blackhawks wrong, and now Bob McGill skated by Hardy, and he bumped him, and Hardy's upset over that.
Well, Hardy missed the pass. I don't know if he took his eye off it, but nobody was near him. Then he tried to recover, but, you know, Savard obviously in that situation is going to do a little acting and diving, and, you know, if the clubs are at even strength, there's no way he calls that penalty. But Kings got a break with a double minor, and the Blackhawks get a break here with the holding penalty to Mark Hardy.
So we're going to have a 4-on-4 situation here for a while, and then the Kings will come out of this with about a minute 34 power play.
Mike Murphy, head coach of the Kings, looking for the club's second straight win for the first time all year. The only team in the league that has not won 2 in a row this year.
Face off to the right of Glenn Healy, and on the draw with Troy Murray. Carson sends it over on the side, and now it's taken by Jay Wells. Wells gives it to Dave Taylor. Taylor in the King zone. Here's Taylor up across the King blue line. Now to the red line. Taylor comes across the Chicago line, but the Kings are offside on the play. 15:47 to go in the first period. No score.
Dave Taylor, the Kings captain. Of course, Dave, the senior member as far as playing experience in Los Angeles of all active Kings. 8 goals, 19 points. Playing with Carson and Robitaille for the most part this season, although the last couple of games, Mike Murphy shook up really all 4 line combinations.
Now off the face-off, Jimmy Carson can't get the draw. It comes into the Chicago zone after Troy Murray won the draw, and Nyland sends it into the King zone. We're going to get icing here. We're in a 4-on-4 skating situation with 15:37 to go in the first period. There's no score.
Well, we mentioned Jimmy Carson, the center for Dave Taylor, number 17 of the Kings. Carson leading the club in goals with 16. Scored in all but 4 Kings games this year, so a model of consistency. Also has 6 power play goals.
Faceoff moves into the Chicago zone to the left of the big goaltender, Bob Mason. He's 6'1", 180 pounds. Played on the U.S. Olympic team in 1984 in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia. And he is U.S. born, of course, from International Falls, Minnesota. One of the most exciting players in the league, Dennis Savard, will take the face-off against Nichols. Nichols wins the draw. Right point, Duchesne shoots, score! Tipped in! Well, the importance of winning faceoffs. Nichols wins the draw from Savard. It goes to Duchesne at the right point. It was deflected on the way in, perhaps by Carpenter, although Nichols was there too. And the Kings have a 1-0 lead.
Nichols the draw, back to Duchesne, and Duchesne takes the shot. I don't know, on the replay on the simulcast, after it may have hit somebody, it also bounced in front of goaltender Bob Mason. So they're going to give the goal to Steve Duchesne, his 4th of the season, with the assist to Bernie Nichols.
Now play underway as the Blackhawks have it back behind their own net. Pass up the middle to Steve Larmer. Larmer goes back behind his own net again. Comes around the right side, clears it to center. Across the line, offside Chicago. Larmer headed for the net, and he went hard into the boards in the corner.
Steve Larmer, of course, one of the veterans up front. He was going right for the net, driving for the net. I don't know if someone yanked the feet out from under him. There was a mild collision in front of goaltender Glenn Healy. The net came off the magnets, and then Larmer went crashing into the right wing boards. A little slow in getting up, but I think he's all right. 13 goals, tied for second on the club with Dennis Savard. Of course, he and Savard have been line mates ever since Larmer broke into the National Hockey League in the early 80s. The 81-82 season, his rookie season.
Both teams still a man shy for another minute 9. Then the Kings will be back on the power play. Here's Bob Bourne facing off. What a game he played in Buffalo, and Mike Murphy mentioned that too. Nick called him the unsung hero, and we had mentioned it on our broadcast. Bourne playing a strong game that night in Buffalo. The Kings winning it. Now right in front of the Chicago bench, Butsy Erickson passes to the King line to Wells. Here's Wells feeding it down the left side into Chicago zone. Puck is chased in by Doug Wilson. Wilson backhands it off on the right side now as the Blackhawks. Mike Stapleton has it, the son of Whitey Stapleton, who wore the same number when he played for the Hawks. He fires it into the King zone. Here's Duchesne with it. Duchesne at the blue line of the Kings, passes up to center, went behind Bob Bourne, taken away there by McGill, and Bob McGill of Chicago drives it back into the King zone. Blackhawks go for a line change. Kings with it now as they start out. Here's Bob Bourne in the King zone. He drops it back to Duchesne. Steve Duchesne to the red line. Now the Chicago line. Duchesne with a nice move in the slot. Couldn't get a shot. He jumped around Doug Wilson, but then lost the puck. Wilson came back to get it. He gets it to the rookie Brian Noonan. Here's Noonan to center. To the red line. Passes left side. Offside goes Troy Murray at the King blue line. Kings lead at 1-0 with 14:09 to go in the first period.
The goal at 4:27, Duchesne's 4th from Bernie Nichols. So Nichols, since coming back, Bob, in his last 10 games, has scored 19 points, averaging almost 2 a game. Nichols won the draw, and Duchesne bounced the shot that changed directions when it hit the ice past goaltender Bob Mason. Again, the Blackhawks coming into tonight's game winless. Their last 8 on the road, 0-7-1. Their last win on the road, October 21st at Detroit. And overall, since the Kings and Blackhawks have met, the Blackhawks have a slight edge in one loss mark.
They've had trouble winning in this building, though, Nick. They've won only 1 of their last 9 here. 1 win, 5 losses, 3 ties. So this building has not been kind to the Blackhawks. Now the puck driven high in the air all the way down into the King zone, and back behind the net, Bernie Nichols. Nichols starting out. Here's Nichols with it now, passing up on the right side, and the Kings with a power play. Carson's there, but it's tipped away from him. Back down into the King zone, and behind the net, Healy had a little trouble with it, but leaves it for Hardy. Kings have 1:09 to go on the power play now. This is the second minor to Rick Vive for high sticking. Hardy fires it into the Chicago zone. Puck is in the left wing corner. Bob Murray with it there. Sweeps it around. Carson intercepts. Carson into Robitaille. Robitaille right wing boards to the right point to Nichols, but Troy Murray was right on him, and Murray clears it into the King zone. 45 seconds to go in the King power play. Here's Hardy zigzagging to center. Fakes a shot, and that put everybody offside. Kings are looking hard. If you're going to do it, do it. But
well, the shift before that, the rush before that, Bob Hardy had a full head of steam coming out of his own zone, hit the red line, fired it in, and the puck came around, and the Kings drove into the zone for possession. Ben Wilson of the Chicago Blackhawks back after a back problem last year. I talked to him before the game, and he's very fortunate. He said he came so close to back surgery, but never actually did have surgery. They gave him some exercises. He saw the doctors out here in Los Angeles last year, and his back has just been improving ever since.
He missed all of last season with those spasms in the back. formerly with the Philadelphia Flyers. Wasn't he a Shakespearean actor too? I think he's done some of that in his career. Face-off outside the blue line of the Chicago Blackhawks. The Kings have a 1-0 lead. We're in the first period with 13:05 to go in the period. Puck taken by the Kings. Grant Ledyard, right side. Hawk zone. He shoots. He scores! What a blast by Grant Ledyard. He just came back after a sore ankle. He came to the right face-off circle. He just paused, waited for an opening after Doug Wilson fell down, and then Ledyard just unloaded a blistering shot into the Chicago net, and the Kings lead 2-0.
6:59, the power play goal. Ledyard pulling up. Wilson loses his balance. He unloads. Bobby Carpenter was right in front looking for a rebound, and Carpenter's been there all week in front of opposing goaltenders. Ledyard, second full game back, and he gets his third point and first goal of the season.
Wells and Carpenter with the assist. So for Carpenter now, a point in 10 straight games. Up to center. Kings with it again. Bourne trying to get around Doug Wilson. Wilson knocks him down. And Larry Playfair tried to get it on his stick, but it's tipped away. And the Blackhawks come back. 2-0 Kings. Up to center ice. Chicago with it. Troy Murray down the right wing. Murray driving, and we got a fight at center ice. Murray's pass. No whistle yet. We have Larry Playfair throwing punches, and while the linesman D'Amico has got, I think it's McGill of Chicago bent over, Playfair is still throwing punches.
Well, I looked up, Bob, and McGill was getting some rights in on Larry Playfair. McGill acquired in that multiplayer deal with Toronto, and Bob Hall was very slow in seeing what was going on behind the play, and fortunately, the two linesmen spotted it right away. So we get penalties. 2-0 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know, without the right help, finding your dream house can be confusing.
The officials still sorting out the penalties to Playfair and McGill. I'm sure that referee Bob Hall has consulted his linesmen to find out if there is an instigator. Penalties are at 7:33. Here are the penalties.
Los Angeles penalties to number 23, Larry Playfair. 5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct. Time for penalties, 7:33.
So McGill and Playfair each get 5 for fighting, and Playfair gets the extra misconduct, and I'm quite sure, Bob, he got it for continuing the altercation. Once McGill was down, Playfair had regained his stance, and the linesmen were still trying to pry him apart. So Playfair, clearly trying to prolong it, gets the misconduct. Bob McGill sits in the penalty box. Larry Playfair has gone to the dressing room. He's gone until midway through the second period. Penalties at 7:33. Second Kings goal, a power play goal. Ledyard's first from Wells and Carpenter. The Kings now are 11 of their last 23 on the power play, which is just about 50%.
Faceoff will be in the Kings zone to the right of goaltender Glenn Healy now. Bob Bourne on the draw. Kings up 2-0. Here is Stapleton, left wing corner. He's bumped by Bourne. Now a check thrown by Hardy. Hawks try to kick it free. Hardy still checking his man, and I can't see which Chicago man it is, up against the boards, and finally the whistle is blown there with Steve Ludzik. So temper's a little short early in this game here with 12:14 to go in the first period, and the Kings with a 2-0 lead on goals by Duchesne and Ledyard.
Grant Ledyard sprained his ankle the day before the first exhibition game, way back up in Victoria in mid-September. Was in and out of the lineup for a couple of games once the season started, but it wasn't right. Went down last week to New Haven for rehab, but he's shooting the puck like Grant Ledyard can shoot. We saw that at Buffalo. The other night he picked up a couple of assists, and he just overpowered Mason with that goal moments ago.
Now on the draw, Bourne. It comes behind the King net over to Ledyard. Ledyard's pass to Paul Fenton. Fenton bumped along the boards in the King zone, but the puck comes out to center, and it's chased now by Doug Wilson all the way back into the Chicago zone. 12 minutes to go, first period. 2-0 Kings lead. Pass up to center. Here's Stapleton with it now. Over on the right side. He gives it to Ludzik. His shot saved by Healy, and he covers up. He had a little trouble with it, and all of it. Ledyard gets cleaned out in front, and now, who's that? Ludzik jumping, I think, on one of the Kings.
Well, it was a pileup in front of Glenn Healy, and you could hear him from up here. You could hear the skate blades coming to a grinding halt. You could see the snow flying in the air. I think everybody was trying to avoid colliding with the goaltender. Bergevin and Kadelsky finally get up off the ice.
So we're going to get penalties here with 11:50 to go in the first period. 2-0 Kings. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
And in the penalty box, along with Bob Kadelsky, rookie right winger. They each get roughing minors, so will not affect the strength situation on the ice. They'll remain at full and equal strength with the Kings up 2-0. Again, a bouncing shot by Ludzik on goaltender Glenn Healy. He had trouble finding it. He covered up. Then Bergevin, I think when he tried to stop, lost his balance. Kadelsky was then taken down to the ice in wrestling fashion by Bergevin, and they each got 2 minutes.
Well, Kadelsky played hockey at Yale, but apparently was not a wrestler there. Puck is taken off the glass and sent out to center by Wells. Back into the Chicago zone. 11:38 to go. We're in the first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon, and the Kings have a 2-0 lead. At center ice, Jimmy Fox tried to pick it up. He does. Comes back into the Kings zone. Drops it off there. Now a pass from Duchesne to Carpenter. He gets knocked down at center ice. Puck taken by Savard. Look out for him. Savard in the slot. Right side to Murray. His shot deflects up in the air over the net. Taken by Duchesne. Here's Steve Duchesne for the Kings. Still has it. Headmans it up to center. Off the stick of Bernie Nichols. Poke checked away and taken now by Chicago. Larmer gives it back to Murray. Now on the left side, puck driven by Nyland into the King zone. Here's Wells with it. He eludes a check, but Savard with it now. Now Wells picks up the loose puck, sends it to Robitaille, ahead to Fox. Here's Fox with Nichols. Fox to the right side, Chicago zone, but offside. At the Chicago blue line was Bernie Nichols. 2-0 in favor of the Kings, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
10:56 left. The Kings working hard. They're showing intensity, and appears, at least so far, Bob, the forwards want to come back and help out, and that's a big key, wanting to help out.
That's right. Off the draw, Doug Wilson for Chicago. He fires it in on target. Save made by Healy. Wilson with one of the hardest shots in the league. Puck is steered behind the King net, taken by Jimmy Carson. Carson around the right side. Carson gives it to Taylor. Here's Taylor at the red line. Taylor, Chicago line to Robitaille. He shoots, save. Rebound up the middle, not cleared out. Held in on the right side, but now cleared. The King defenseman Hardy did not want to pinch in there, fearing he'd get caught. And now Hardy goes back and drives it off the boards into the Chicago zone. Puck comes around on the left wing side. Blackhawks with it. Up to center, Troy Murray. Murray across the line. Left side, shot by Fraser, and a save made by Healy. Puck comes over to the blue line, held in. Shot from there, and a save made on the shot by Vive. And now a penalty to Troy Murray. A delayed call. Kings with it. Here's Robitaille. Fox is the extra man on. Robitaille shoots. He scores! A delayed penalty was being called against Chicago, and number 20, Luke Robitaille of the Kings, came across the Chicago line and from the left face-off circle drove it into the right-hand corner. And now the Kings lead 3-0.
Luke Robitaille with his 9th goal of the season. Bob Mason appeared to just flat out miss it. Bob Murdoch thinks that, the head coach, because he's going to pull Mason and make a goaltending change. Jimmy Carson picks up an assist on the goal by Robitaille, and Bob Murdoch apparently feels that Bob Mason doesn't have it tonight. He's been beaten 3 times in just under 10 minutes. So the new goaltender is Darren Pang, a rookie. Spent a couple of years in the International Hockey League at Saginaw. He's one of the smallest goaltenders that you'll ever see. 5'5", 155 pounds, 23 years old. Darren Pang on the year. 3 wins, 3 losses, an average of 4.59.
Well, unofficially, Mason faced 7 shots and allowed 3 goals, and now the fans derisively cheer Pang as he makes an easy stop as the puck came into the Chicago zone. Now at center ice in front of the King bench, Paul Fenton digs it out. He sends it back into the Chicago zone. Nyland sends it up to center for the Hawks. Now to Murray, taken away from him by Erickson. Ahead, 2-on-1. Bourne down the middle. Bourne shoots. Saved by Darren Pang. And what a lift that should give the Blackhawks. Had Bourne scored there, Nick, the game is almost a runaway, although we know better with only a 4-goal lead. But Pang comes up with a type of save now that can get Chicago saying, let's go, let's play in front of this guy.
Beautiful play by Brian Erickson at center ice to spring Bourne open right down the middle. Bourne goes in, tries to beat Pang in the upper right corner, glove side. Bourne had a great chance, you know, in Buffalo, Bob. Remember when he had the puck in the crease and was trying to kick it from the skate to his stick? He said he hit the post a couple of times. He was frustrated. He had a great chance right there. Well, a frustrated Bob Mason is now watching on the Blackhawk bench. 7 shots, 10 minutes, 3 goals against. His club down 3-0.
Kind of tough for a goalie to come in this situation, Nick, because he probably didn't take much of a warm-up. He's been sitting around and then comes in and faces a breakaway and makes the glove stop. Darren Pang, nice save for the Blackhawks. Say we want to welcome Rogers Cable Systems of Orange County. Those of you watching in Huntington Beach, Garden Grove, Westminster, Fountain Valley, Los Alamitos, Midway City, Rossmore, Cypress, and Stanton. 70,000 subscribers on Channel 34, Roger Cable System. Now the puck off the face-off in the Chicago zone. Taken and cleared ahead to center to Savard. Here's Dennis Savard, second in the NHL in scoring. Down the left side, he stops. He comes in front. He lost the puck. Swept away from him by Duchesne, and the Kings bring it to center. Here's Duchesne, hooked and pulled down at center ice. Chicago got away with one there. Duchesne sends it in the Chicago zone, and Ben Wilson back to get it. 9:09 left to go in the first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Kings with a 3-0 lead. Pass to center, taken away by Jimmy Fox of the Kings. Fox bumped by Dave Manson. Puck picked up by Chicago. Carpenter takes it away. Played it off the glass. He's bumped now by Everett Santapass, and the puck comes out to center ice. Taken by the Kings. Shot back into the Chicago zone by Duchesne. 8:48 to go, first period. 3-0 Kings. Duchesne, Ledyard, and Robitaille with the goals tonight. Chicago, Savard across the King line. Bumped by Nichols. Kings with it. Pass up to Robitaille at center. Robitaille on the right side in the Chicago zone. Robitaille in the slot. He shoots. Deflected up in the air. And behind the net, Nichols goes for it. Rolled it out in front. Tipped away there. Blackhawks control it. Now up to center. Here's Presley. Bumped at the blue line by Taylor. Taylor gives it to Nichols. Nichols comes back to the red line and backhands it in the Chicago zone. 3-0 Kings lead. Ben Wilson for the Blackhawks has it behind his own net. He waits there. Now up on the left side to Nyland. To center to Presley. Tips it over to Everett Santapass. His pass back down into the Kings zone, and back to get it now is Ledyard. Ledyard plays it around to Dave Taylor. Taylor bounces it off the boards into the Chicago zone. Chased in by Carson with the goaltender Darren Pang with it there. His pass up against the left side, now cleared to center. Kings at their own blue line. Kennedy gives it to Hardy. Hardy with it right in front of the King bench. Hardy double team there. Gets a pass ahead to Taylor. Taylor tips it in the Chicago zone. Picked up now by Nyland. Nyland's pass tipped by Kennedy into the King zone, but covering up and clearing it is Kenny Hammond back into the Chicago Blackhawks zone.
Good job by the forwards. As we mentioned a few moments ago, they're bumping people at center ice, and the Blackhawks just cannot get their offense on track.
Wayne Presley with it now. He drives it into the King zone behind the net. Healy cuts it off. He gives it to Kennedy. Kennedy's pass almost stolen. Comes to Butsy Erickson. Across the ice in front of the King bench to Bourne. Bourne in the Chicago zone. His pass right side, but being tied up over there, Paul Fenton. He was really being tied up before the puck ever came near him. Now the Hawks, Brian Noonan to center on the right wing. Noonan sends it easily into the King zone. The Hawks want a line change. 6:50 left to go in the first period. Kings ahead 3-0. Here comes Kenny Hammond to center. Hammond drives it in the Chicago zone. Puck comes toward the back of the net. Darren Pang leaves it there, and Doug Wilson has it for the Hawks. Chicago moving left to right. Wilson's pass to center, broken up by Duchesne. He drives it right back into the Chicago zone. Doug Wilson with it. Feeds it up the left side, and the Blackhawks try it again. Now at center, Troy Murray, King zone, drop pass to Vide. Vide knocked down. Now a pass in deep by Fraser, broken up. Vide got knocked flat on his back by Duchesne. Puck comes out to center. Wilson tried to glove it and then drop it, but it was across the blue line. Offside Chicago. 3-0 Kings. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings hockey.
We mentioned a good crowd on hand here tonight, Thanksgiving Eve. A lot of Chicago fans and a a lot more Los Angeles Kings fans, and the Kings fans are happy. Their club up 3-0. Duchesne, Ledyard, and Luc Robitaille. For Robitaille, his 9th goal of the season.
Face-off outside the King line. Tim Tukey out at center. Robitaille on the left side. Hawks with it. Driven into the King zone. It comes around the boards now and deflected back behind the King net. Hard check by Hardy thrown there. Tukey comes over to help out. Ludzik trying to kick it loose for Chicago. He and Tukey are tied up, and the whistle blows. Now we got Ludzik pushing and everybody piling into the left of the King net.
Yeah, Ludzik has been involved in a couple of these skirmishes in the first period. Of course, the Blackhawks have to look for something to get their team going. They just have not been there offensively. Of course, you've got to give the Kings credit from that standpoint. Veteran and forward Steve Ludzik, who's played center as well as left wing in his career with the Chicago Blackhawks, has been a pretty good penalty killer over the years. He finally cracked the Blackhawk lineup back in 82-83, third pick back in 1980. 25 years old, a native of Toronto, Steve Ludzik. Face off to the right of goaltender Glenn Healy. Kings up 3-0, 5:59 left here in the first.
Kudelski ready on the face-off to the right of Healy. And on the draw with Murray. Murray with it to the left point, and it's driven in deep now and up out of play by Gary Nyland.
You know, Bob, we talked about Bob Bourne playing such a strong game at Buffalo. Bob Kudelski out there to take the face-off, a strong game as well. Luc Robitaille, the Calder Trophy winner last season, Rookie of the Year, scored in 18 of the 22 games this season. That's scoring points. That includes tonight's game, number 22. 9 goals and now 21 assists. 21 assists leads the team.
Now in the King zone, Kennedy drives it to the left point and out to center ice. Nyland with it there for Chicago. Kings up 3-0. 5:43 to go, first period. Pass to the King line. Kurt Fraser sweeps it in. It bounces to Kennedy. Kennedy's pass off the boards, held in by the Blackhawks. Nyland now up the middle. Shot saved by Healy. Nice save on the shot by Kurt Fraser. Here's Bob Murray on the right side. Murray sends it down in the corner. Fraser bumped there. Kings with it. Pass by Tukey. Taken away by Chicago again. Vive walking in front of Murray. Shot it wide. And a penalty against the Kings. Murray shot it wide. They're going to get Robitaille here for knocking Vive down.
Fraser took a late run at Dean Kennedy. Fortunately, Kennedy avoided most of it, but Vive was turning off the near boards to move right in front. He set up Murray, and then he was yanked to the ice. So the Blackhawks are going to go on the power play for the first time. 14:45. Interference is the call on Robitaille. And, well, Phil Muir alluded to the fact that the best way to stop the Blackhawk power play is to not take penalties. This is the Blackhawks' first power play tonight, and we've played 14 minutes, 45 seconds. Interference, Luc Robitaille.
Well, we're going to see the best power play in the league in action right now, and Bob Murdoch brought a lot of the things that he learned under Bob Johnson at Calgary with him. And they are, as Nick said, on a pace to get 145 power play goals in a year. The record's 99. So they really move it around. That's the key to this, Nick, is the puck movement that they get here. Savard will face off against Bernie Nichols. Kings trying to kill this now and keep Chicago from getting back in the game. Puck is taken by the Kings, but Savard took it away on a pass by Wells. Savard left side to Doug Wilson at the point. Now Wilson gets a lot of shots from right in the slot, and he's got that hard shot. Kings tip it away. Nichols tipped it to Wells, and he clears it.
Bob Murdoch, I was talking to him at length about the power play before the game, and he said you have to have skilled players out there, and you also have to have players that can read the defense once you get it into the attacking zone, that know how to react.
Now Noonan down the right wing, but the Hawks go offside at the King blue line with 1:33 remaining in the penalty to Luc Robitaille, and a guy that can unload it, as we mentioned, from the top of the slot is Doug Wilson.
Well, he's one of those skilled guys that the Blackhawks can count on. Leads NHL defenseman with 30 points, holds Chicago's season records for goals, assists, and points by a defenseman. And as we mentioned earlier, he won the Norris Trophy, that is, in 81-82. You get Savard, Larmer, Rick Vive, and Wilson, and Bob Murray if they want out there in the power play. Experience, offensive threats, a lot of options they can rely on.
All right, Hawks with it at center ice now. Here's Doug Wilson on the power play. Kings lead 3-0. Over to Noonan. Noonan, the rookie, fires it into the Kings zone. It's taken by Vive to Savard. Back to Vive. Rolled away from him. He bumps Kudelski. Duchesne with it. Backhand. Is it out to center ice and back into the Chicago zone?
Well, that's where Kudelski plays his best along the boards. He just out-muscled Vive and left the puck for the defenseman Duchesne to clear it down.
Now the Hawks come back. Vive just standing just outside the King blue line. Now Noonan down the right wing. Noonan into the King zone. Sends it around the boards over to Dennis Savard. Here's Savard with it left wing side. Savard waits up the middle, and Larmer can't get a shot. Now Savard with it to the blue line to Wilson. To the right point to Noonan. Back to Wilson. Right side. Taken off the boards by Larmer. Vive, his shot deflected. Kings with it. Duchesne tried to clear it to the blue line. It's kicked out to center by Bob Bourne. Taken by the Hawks down the left side. Larmer with it. Larmer to Vive, and he got bumped on the way in. Now the right point. Noonan walking in. His pass shot over the net by Savard. Puck comes around to Noonan, right wing side. Noonan waits. 17 seconds to go on the power play. A shot and a save by Healy, and a penalty to Chicago.
Well, holding will be the call. Healy and one of the King defensemen wound up in the Kings net. And then as Noonan went to shoot, the puck hit something and deflected right across to Dennis Savard, who had a wide open net, but he misfired on it. Then they set up Vive right in the slot. So Dennis Savard is going to the penalty box. Noonan has the puck. He dumps it in the slot to Vive, and Vive just unloads, shooting off the pass. Healy got a piece of it. Then on the rebound, Savard grabs a hold of Duchesne, tackles him to the ice right in front of the referee. So holding is the call on Dennis Savard at 16:33. But Healy with an outstanding blocker save on Rick Vive 3 times with 50 goals in his 7+ seasons at Toronto. Savard gets the penalty, however.
Nick, we also want to welcome Yorba Linda Cable TV. That adds 7,700 subscribers to Prime Ticket. Southwestern Cable TV in San Diego, 110,000. And Hometown Cable in Reedley, California. Welcome to all of you who are joining the Prime Ticket Network. And, of course, a welcome to all of you listening on KLAC Radio tonight. We'll be right back on KLAC Saturday night when the Kings are here against the Calgary Flames. All those two teams did the last time they met and scored 17 goals in the game. That's Saturday night. Sunday night here, Nick. Our first look at New Jersey. What a season they're off to. Up to center ice. Kings with it. Ledyard drives it in the Chicago zone. Puck comes around the boards. Left wing side. Driven out to center by Bob Murray. Chased down by the Kings' Paul Fenton. Blackhawks trying to kill the penalty now. They've got another minute 30 to kill it. Kings are on the power play, leading 3-0. Hawks drive it down to the Kings zone. Into the corner, Ludzik along with Ledyard. Ledyard kicks it loose. Kings with it. Carpenter behind the back pass to Hardy. Hardy to center at the red line. Now the Chicago line. Hardy down the right side. Gets bumped there. Puck is taken by Fox. Up the middle to Ledyard. Back to Fox. Right circle. Chicago zone. Fox on the power play to Ledyard. Back to Fox with room. Right side. His pass. He tried to feed it to Hardy. And it's intercepted and cleared to center by Steve Ludzik.
You have to watch the Blackhawks. We've talked about their power play. They're penalty killing second. They've also scored 9 shorthanded goals this year.
Now a drive by Ledyard back behind the Chicago net. The goaltender Darren Pang flips it up on the boards left side, taken away by Robitaille. Hit shot over the net and gloved by Pang. He dropped it down. Robitaille with him. Robitaille sends it behind the net to Taylor. Taylor gives it to Fox. Left wing side of the power play to the blue line to Duchesne. Back to Fox. Fox's pass to Taylor. Left wing corner. Chicago zone to the blue line. Left point. Duchesne shoots. Tipped wide by Fox. Puck taken by Chicago. And Troy Murray brings it to center and slaps it into the King zone. 15 seconds left to go in the penalty to Dennis Savard of Chicago. Here's Jimmy Carson passing up the center ice to Nichols. Nichols, Chicago line. Nichols down the left side, stops along the boards. Up the middle, shot by Duchesne. He hit the goal post. Duchesne hit the goal post. Carson, I think, deflected it. Hit the left goal post, and the Hawks clear it, and they're back at full strength. Kings still leading 3-0, but they almost made it 4 there. Long drive now by Nichols on target. About a 175-foot shot there.
His finger is fine now.
Here's Savard with a head of steam, trying to get around Kennedy. Savard in the slot. Poke checked off his stick. Right side. Savard shoots. Save Healy. Rebound up the middle. Kings with it. Back to center they come. Here's Jimmy Carson. 1 minute to go in the period. Carson's pass. Right side to Robitaille. He's bumped by Larmer. Over to help out in the Chicago zone is Carson. Now a penalty coming up to Robitaille. He knocked down Bob Murray behind the Chicago net. And Luc Robitaille gets a holding penalty. And Chicago gets another chance on the power play. Luc Robitaille upset over the call. Murray had it, and Robitaille tried to reach around him. It's a holding penalty, and he didn't like that call, and it didn't look like he held Murray very much, but he goes into the penalty box in Chicago. Back on the power play now. Want to remind you, this is an officially copyrighted broadcast of California sports and the Los Angeles Kings, and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited. Face-off outside the blue line of the Chicago Blackhawks, and the puck taken by Noonan on the power play now for Chicago. Over to Wilson. His pass to the King blue line, taken by Wells. Wells feeds it down the left side, back behind the Chicago net. 30 seconds left to go in the Blackhawk power play. They were blanked in a game for the first time this year on the power play Sunday against Vancouver, although they won the game 3-2. Noonan drives it by the King, and here's the power play score! Rick Vive. Healy went behind the net to get it, and he didn't get it. And the Blackhawks sent it in front to Rick Vive, and he gets his 8th power play goal of the season. And the Blackhawks are on the board. It's the Kings 3, the Blackhawks 1. Well, Healy got in trouble when he went behind the goal to get the puck. Noonan drove it behind the net, and it got away from Healy, and it was sent right out in front, and Rick Vive had a wide open net.
Scored by number 27, Rick Vive.
So a power play goal.
Number 8, Kurt
Fraser and Noonan with the assist
1940.
at 1940. So unfortunately there for Glenn Healy, he went behind the net and didn't get the puck, and he was way out of position then when Fraser sent it out in front to Vive. Kings are back at full strength now, but Chicago gets on the board late in this first period. Now Carpenter from center ice drives it into the Chicago zone. 1 second to go, and that's the end of the first period. Now in front of the Chicago bench, Vive and Wells have a few words with one another. So in the period, the Kings get the first 3 goals. Duchesne is 4th from Nichols at 4:27. Ledyard on the power play is 1st from Wells and Carpenter at 6:59. Robitaille is 9th from Carson at 9:58. And Vive is 18th of the year on the power play from Fraser and Noonan at 19:40. In just a couple of moments, Nick will be...
Mission at the Fabulous Forum. The Kings opening up a 5-game homestand tonight against the Chicago Blackhawks. They lead it after the first period, 3-1. King left winger Bobby Carpenter is our guest. He has been red hot. Of course, he's been playing with Bernie Nichols and Jimmy Fox most of the season. Bobby, a 10-game point scoring streak now. I guess you have to feel you're really at the top of your game. You look outstanding out there.
Well, things are really starting to come together now. I think that, since Bernie's coming back, we've been really working hard at it, and things are really just starting to come together this last week.
Now, you and Bernie seem to just complement each other so well out there. You seem to instinctively know what the other player is going to do.
Well, I think it's a matter of, Bernie being a really intelligent player, and plus I think probably the most important factor is that he's a right-handed centerman. I think if he was a left-handed centerman, I wouldn't see the puck half the time, because, your first instinct is to pick your head up and look to where your forehand is, and I think that's why we really work together so well, because we're both on facing each other on the shots, and that's the first thing we always see is each other.
Now, you've got great speed. Bernie likes to carry that puck a lot. Do you find yourself now learning what Bernie likes to do? And also, the last few games, it seems you're just driving for that net, knowing that the puck is going to wind up there somehow.
Well, that's what Mike Gardner and I used to do all the time, except I'm on the reverse role now. He used to always just go to the net. He'd give me the puck and he'd go to the net, and if I give it to him, he's open, I'd give it to him. If not, I'd shoot and he'd get a rebound. And now it's just the reverse for me, and it's a lot easier for me now knowing that, hey, I just give the puck to Bernie, go to the net. If he gives it back, I put it in. If he shoots, I look for a rebound.
Now, the game tonight, the Kings showing a lot of intensity, and the forwards doing a good job at bumping Chicago at center ice. And when you play a team that's gifted offensively, you've got to do some bumping out there, right?
Yeah, it's very important for us to do some bumping, and I think more or less most of the intensity can probably be contributed to wanting a day off tomorrow. I think that Thanksgiving's there, and everybody we don't play till Saturday, so we have no shot if we don't win. So I think everyone wants to win tonight.
All right, Bobby, last year traded twice. You've got to feel just so comfortable this year from the start of training camp. Do you really feel you're at the top of your game now?
Not really. No, I don't. I don't really think I am, because when I'm at the top of my game, I'm able to continue it for a long period of time. It's only been a week. It's nothing to get really excited about. It's something to be happy about, but it's not something to thrive on right now. You can't stop. You can't just be happy with it now, because if you are, then things will start going downhill. And when you're on top, you know, you got to stay there as long as you can, because when you're on the bottom, you try as hard as you can to get back on top, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer than you want.
All right, left winger Bobby Carpenter, who has now put together a 10-game point-scoring streak, has been our guest. Let's take a look at the leading point scorers around the National Hockey League. Wayne Gretzky of the Edmonton Oilers with 52 points. And Dennis Savard here tonight with the Blackhawks with 40.
Blackhawks at the end of the first period of play. The Kings with 3 quick goals to knock the goaltender for Chicago, Bob Mason, right out of the game, and he's been replaced. Let's take a look at the rest of the NHL. Bob Fulford, player, has become a head coach in the NHL, and we're seeing him here tonight. Bob Murdoch with the Blackhawks. Now, Murdoch never had the limelight as a player, nor really as an assistant coach, certainly with Calgary. So who is he? Let's find out.
I'd just like to introduce our new head coach, Bob Murdoch.
And with that, the Blackhawks ushered in the 27th head coach in their illustrious 62-year history. Bob Murdoch, known as a player's coach, is in his first year of head coaching.
Well, this is my 18th year in professional hockey. I graduated from college a number of years ago. I hate to think of how many years, but I graduated a number of years ago. After graduating, I played with the Canadian national team for a couple of years. From there, I turned professional with the Montreal Canadiens, spent 3 years in their organization, spent 6 years with the Los Angeles Kings, and spent 9 years with the Flames organization, 2 in Atlanta and the last 7 in Calgary. The last 5 years of those Calgary associations were as an assistant coach with Calgary, and I worked with Bob Johnson, who I feel is probably one of the top coaches in hockey in the world today, actually. I learned a lot of my stuff from him. This year is my first job as a head coach. I got the job from Bob Fulford and the Chicago Blackhawks last May, and I've been working with them since. My philosophy would be to create an environment that these players can excel in, and also to teach them how to become winners, to teach them how to become overachievers, and make them blend as a team and work together as a team. I think that's one of the things that have been lacking here the last couple of years with the Blackhawks. They've been underachievers, and they haven't worked together cohesively as a unit. They've all gone off in their individual ways, and some of them have had good years as individuals, but the team has faltered because of it. And right now, my job is going to be bring these players together and play together as a unit and have strength in numbers.
Murdoch has impressed both the Blackhawks owners and management with his experience and attitude.
We liked all his attributes, and we particularly liked the way, you know, he coached the power play, worked with the defensemen, and we're looking forward to that very much.
While the top brass approval is essential, the support of the players is also necessary.
He's very hardworking. He's got everything very well organized, and he's ready to go. He's very anxious, and if his enthusiasm runs off on the rest of us, we're not going to have any problems.
His ideas that he has are very positive. He wants to install a winning attitude. He's made the moves that he feels will help that. We've brought in Dwayne Sutter, who was on the Islanders Stanley Cup years, and he's a really classy guy. He's like Darryl. He works hard, and I think Bob Murdoch has the right idea. He's building a whole new atmosphere for our hockey club.
It is often said that a team will take on the personality of their head coach. If this is true, what personality will the Blackhawks have?
Well, I think I'm energetic. I think I'm enthusiastic. I think I'm very positive. And I think I'm an overachiever.
And even though the Hawks have a rookie coach at the helm, Murdoch's team could very well be the overachievers of the year.
One interesting thing about Bob Murdoch is that when he was with Calgary as an assistant, he handled the special teams there. They developed very good, and here we're seeing the same thing with the Chicago Blackhawks. First in the power play, second in penalty killing, and you saw him get a power play goal just a few seconds before the end of the period tonight. Let's take a look now at the leading rookie scorer.
Bob Hall, each team 1 of 3 on the power play. Kings will defend to our left with Glenn Healy, and Darren Pang will defend to our right wearing jersey number 40, a rookie goaltender. Mason not sharp in the first period. They weren't happy last year, Bob, with Murray Bannerman and Bob Sauvé, 2 veterans. So goaltending is going to be, and still is apparently, a big question mark for the Chicago Blackhawks.
In the first period, the Hawks held Bernie Nichols and Bobby Carpenter to 1 shot each. Now, we mentioned that they had 9 shots apiece in the game at Buffalo on Sunday night. Bob Bourne had the most shots for the Kings, 3. Kurt Fraser had the most for Chicago in the first period with 4. Carson and Taylor did not have a shot for the Kings, but the Kings have a 3-1 lead. Chicago with it. Here is Troy Murray across the line. His shot and a save by Healy. Rebound bounces up in front of him, and he covers it up to the side of the net.
Well, it looked like a harmless little play, but as the Blackhawks stopped up inside the blue line, one of the King defenders fell down at the top of the left faceoff circle. Going in the zone, Troy Murray, a defenseman, falls down, and Murray just centers in front to Vive heading for the net, and Healy had to react quickly to make the save, and then he did a good job to follow the bouncing puck, and he dived on it to his right to stop play.
Second period just underway. Remember, on Saturday afternoon here, the United States Olympic team against Team Canada at 1 o'clock. Tickets available. Saturday night, Calgary Flames and the Kings meet here at 7:30. And this Sunday night, the New Jersey Devils and the Kings play here at 7:30. Tickets for all those games available. Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Here, the Kings have a 3-1 lead, and off the draw in the Kings zone, Jimmy Fox brings it to center. Here's Fox throwing it off the left wing boards in the Chicago zone. The goaltender Pang flips it over in the corner now to Larmer. Larmer is met there, and the puck controlled again by the Hawks. Larmer up to center on the right wing. He gets away from a hip check by Wells, who got a lot of the board. Puck is in deep, but Duchesne covers up for the Kings. Here's Duchesne, head manning it up now to Bernie Nichols. Nichols at center, sends it in the Chicago zone, and back to get it now is Doug Wilson. Wilson goes back behind his own net. Now his pass hit a skate, but comes over to Bob McGill. McGill coming to center, gives it to Savard. Savard across the King line, down the left side. He stops, he centers it up the middle, and it's taken away. Kings with it. Up to center, Bernie Nichols in the Chicago zone. Nichols gives it now to Fox. Right side, Fox in front, Carpenter. He's saved by Pang. Oh, Pang made a save as Carpenter couldn't get his backhander up high enough over Pang, who reached up and knocked it down. Well, I had the he out, but I was ready to say scores, and I never got it out.
Boy, a beautiful passing play. Behind the action, Hardy is going to drop the gloves with one of the Blackhawks.
Mark Hardy throwing some rights, and I can't see which Hawk it is. It might Everett Sanapass, the rookie, who's a full-blooded Micmac Indian, and he stood behind the play and got into it with Hardy. Hardy's helmet has been knocked off, but Hardy threw some rights, and now he throws a few more rights as the linesmen come in to break it up. Hardy loses his balance and falls down in the grasp of John D'Amico. Oh, but what a save by Pang on Bobby Carpenter. 3-1 Kings. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
I'll get it, Alex.
Mark Hardy in the penalty box. He gets 5 for fighting, along with Everett Sanapass. Hardy got in more blows than the rookie winger. Bobby Carpenter at the other end, set up beautifully as that line continued to move the puck and get excellent scoring chances. Fox carries the puck in. Larmer misses Fox. Fox sets up Carpenter all alone in front. Pang dived to his right. Carpenter just couldn't lift the puck. He had Pang down and out, and Pang made the save with his left arm while just sprawled on his back. So Bobby Carpenter, who's been one of the more explosive Kings, set up beautifully as Fox drew a crowd all alone, and Carpenter is not going to miss on too many of those this year, Bob.
3-1 Kings, and Pang comes up with an outstanding save. Face-off will be outside the King blue line. Carson facing off now. The teams are still at full strength. Here's Kennedy. He drives it up to center ice. Loose puck. Nyland chases it down for Chicago. Nyland flips it off the boards to the King line. It's batted back to center, and we have a hand pass called as Hammond knocked it to Taylor, and the play whistled down. 18:22 to go in the second period. The Kings ahead 3-1.
A lot of former Maple Leafs on this Blackhawk roster, including number 22 defenseman Gary Nyland, a career-high 27 points last season with Chicago, but he's not noted as being an offensive specialist. 6'4", 210, and he's got to bump people.
Puck is driven into the Kings zone. Kennedy checked in the corner now by Bergevin, and the puck is picked up by the Kings. Back they come to center. 4-on-3. Here's Carson, right wing. Chicago's on to Taylor. He shoots. Save made by Pang off his stick. Left side, and Hammond sends it behind the net to Robitaille. Robitaille bumped by Stapleton in the right wing corner. Carson with it for the Kings. Carson's pass to Taylor, to Carson. Left side in front. Carson shoots. Saved by Pang. Carson again with it. Carson against the right wing boards. He's bumped there. Darren Pang. He's only 5'5", but he's stretching out in front of the net to make saves. Taylor shoots wide. Rebound to Hammond for the Kings. Chicago zone. Hammond's pass up the middle. Chicago with it. Bergevin clears to the center. Taken away by Dean Kennedy. Kennedy's pass broken up. Sent to the King line. Backpedaling is Hammond. He plays it off the boards to the Chicago blue line where Nyland with it. Now ahead to Fraser at center. Bumped by Kennedy. Fraser with it again. Sends it into the King zone. Fraser down the right side. He knocks Kennedy down. Fraser still with it. Up the middle. Tipped away. Held in by Manson for Chicago. His shot deflected. Back out to center ice. Taken by Ben Wilson, and the Hawks are offside at the King blue line with 17:06 to go in the second period. Boy, Darren Pang has come in and played great for the Blackhawks.
Well, he's faced only 6 shots on goal, but 3 of them have been outstanding chances. Bourne when he first came in, Carpenter, and then Jimmy Carson. The middle is just opening up for the Kings. That's exactly where Carpenter was before. Carson again. Pang going down first, and Carpenter, or rather Carson this time, just couldn't lift it over the sprawled out goaltender.
I said Pang's 5'5". If he was 5'4", Kings would have a couple more goals. Face-off will be outside the Chicago line. Remember, if you come to that Olympic game on Saturday at 1 o'clock, keep your ticket stub. It's good for a free ticket to a King game anytime between this Saturday and December 30th. Bob Bourne will take the draw for the Kings. 17:06 to go here in the second period. Kings ahead 3-1. Now Ben Wilson chases it into the Chicago zone. The Hawks are moving right to left on our simulcast. Over to Dave Manson. His pass back over now to Ben Wilson. Now to center. Knocked down by Duchesne. Duchesne to the red line. Flipped to the Chicago line. Taken away by Troy Murray. On the right wing to Vibe. Vibe's got the Chicago goal. He drops it to Fraser. Shooting, and he scores! And the Blackhawks are right back in the game. Kurt Fraser got it from Rick Vibe, and Fraser with his 5th shot of the night scores, and it's the Kings 3, the Blackhawks 2.
Vibe does all the work. He carries the puck in the zone, forces the defense to back in. 2 Kings go for Vibe, and Frazier, the 3rd forward in the zone, gets the nice little drop pass and goes up high on Healy. Frazier scoring on really the Blackhawks' first good chance in the period. So we're seeing what difference goaltending can be in this hockey game. In the first 10 minutes, what lousy goaltending can do from Bob Basin, and now what good goaltending can do. Darren Pang has got his club right back in the game.
Now the Hawks send it into the Kings zone again. McGill drives it behind the net. Take it there. Up to center, Wells. Wells to the red line. Chicago line. Wells across the line. Sends it on the left side. Trying to give it to Carpenter. Broken up there. Fox at the left point holds it in. Fox, Chicago zone. Fox down the left side. Fox to Carpenter. Carpenter, left wing side. Still with it now. He tried to give it to Fox. It deflects to him at the right point. Here's Fox with it. Chicago zone. Into Nichols, right wing corner. Threw it behind the net to Carpenter, but he's cut off there, and the Blackhawks have it. Wayne Presley sends it to Savard. Savard on the right wing. Across the King line. Savard's pass in deep. Broken up by Jimmy Fox. Up to center. Kings with a 2-on-2. Left side, Carpenter. Carpenter shoots. And it's wide to the right side. Rebound off the boards all the way back to the King blue line. Chased into the King zone by Larry Playfair. Back in action after a misconduct in the first period. Playfair gives it to Ledyard. Ledyard almost lost it. He's checked in there. The puck taken by Carson. Ahead to Carpenter. Carpenter in front of the Chicago bench, and somebody got knocked down on top of the puck. 3-2 Kings, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings once led 3-0. The Blackhawks have made a game of it. 5 towards the end of the first, and now Frazier early in the second with his second of the season from 5, and Troy Murray at 3:16.
Now Nyland for Chicago at center ice. Over to Bob Murray. Drives it in on target. Save made by Healy. Puck comes on the left side to Ludzik. Ludzik drives it around the boards. Robitaille with it in the King zone. Into Playfair. Playfair bumped from behind, but he gets it ahead to Robitaille at center. He sends a nice soft pass to Ledyard. Ledyard down the right wing, Chicago zone. Ledyard in deep in front. Taylor couldn't get a good shot. He gets knocked down. Puck is taken behind the net by Robitaille to Carson, and a save by Pang. Darren Pang diving on a shot by Carson, which came from about 4 feet away.
Well, the Kings right now, they can't let up because they're getting excellent chances almost every shift. Carpenter, now Carson twice. Good work by Taylor. He lost the good opportunity as he stumbled trying to shoot off the pass. Then Robitaille set up Carson right on the doorstep for a bang-bang play, but Pang stood his ground for the first time this period to make the save. He made the other 2 great stops while lying on his back.
Jimmy Carson on the face-off, but the draw won by the Blackhawks by Troy Murray. Now the Hawks in their own zone. Here's Fraser ahead to Murray at center, broken up by Carson. He tried to give it back at the Chicago line to Robitaille, but it's out of his reach. Ben Wilson for the Blackhawks rips it around the boards to Fraser. His pass to center, tipped away by Playfair to Taylor. Taylor backhands it in the Chicago zone. 14:44 to go. Second period. 3-2. Kings up by 1. They had a 3-0 lead at one point in the first period. Puck bounces out to center ice, and Robitaille backhands it in the Chicago zone. Taken away by Dave Manson. Up to center to Troy Murray. Now to Rick Vibe. Ahead to Fraser, broken up by Kennedy. Hawks shoot it back into the King zone again. Kennedy back to get it, chased by Vibe. Kennedy's pass on the left wing to Robitaille. To center to Carson. Carson across the Chicago line to Fox. Fox in the slot, can't get a shot. Held in by Kennedy, shooting, save, score! Jimmy Carson! Jimmy Carson got it after it was held in at the blue line, and Carson, standing right in front of the crease, flipped it in for his 17th of the year. And the Kings lead 4-2.
Good reaction by Dean Kennedy to keep that puck in as he picked up the drop pass from Jimmy Fox. Kennedy just dumped it in front. Carson deflected it. The save was made, and he got his own rebound. So Kennedy with a floater from the point, and Carson picking up his own rebound after he deflected in the Kennedy drive. Carson's 17th. Kennedy and Fox assisting at 5:48.
Jimmy Carson on a pace for 61 goals this year. He's having an outstanding year, and he has given the Kings a little breathing room at 4-2. And Nick, as you mentioned, boy, the Hawks just awful in front of their own net in their own zone. The Kings are just walking in and are alone right in front of Darren Pang, the Chicago goaltender. Now at center ice, Blackhawks with it. Here's a pass for the red line, tipped back over to Doug Wilson. Wilson gives it to Savard. Savard across the line, backhands it behind the net. It's picked up as Wayne Presley got knocked down from Chicago. The Kings have it. Wells to center. Wells across the red line, shoots it into the right wing corner. Chicago zone. It's flipped up out of play by Steve Larmer. And we'll have a face-off with 13:30 to go here in the second period. 4-2 Kings.
Bobby Carpenter, number 11. He and Bernie Nichols working some magic the last couple of games. That line out there in a little shift on that last goal, a line change. 7 points his last 2 games. He has as many goals right now as he had all of last season in 60 games. Of course, it was a very up and down type of season for Carpenter last year, being traded twice.
You know, Nick, I liked his comment to you that it's nice, but nothing to get excited about right now. He wants to be consistent all year. His play is good. Now a penalty to Chicago as Nyland grabs Paul Fenton and throws him down. And a penalty to Nyland for holding, and the Kings will go on the power play with a 2-goal lead. 13:19 to go in the second period. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
He mentioned his size a few moments ago, 6'4", 2:10. Just grabs a hold of Fenton from behind, dumps him to the ice. Kings on the power play for the 4th time tonight. They're 1 of 3. 4-2 Kings.
Kings have Carpenter up front with Fox and Fenton. Here is Nichols to the right point. Left point is Hardy. He shoots, and a stick save by Pang. Puck taken by Jimmy Fox. Fox on the left wing side to the blue line to Hardy. Hardy's pass in deep behind the net. Carpenter goes for it. He knocks one of the Chicago players flying. It was McGill. Oh, what a check by Carpenter. Puck is taken now. Carpenter with it. His shot deflected over the net. Chased down by the Hawks, and a check by Fenton. Fenton threw a good check. He knocked down Ludzik. Puck taken by the Kings. Fenton, right wing corner to the blue line. Held in by Hardy. Hardy shoots, tipped just wide by Carpenter. Now behind the net, Doug Wilson checked there by Fenton. Carpenter tries to dig it out. He does. Carpenter, left wing side, trying to fend off Doug Wilson. Into the corner to Fenton. Now to Jimmy Fox, right wing corner, and his pass taken away and cleared by Steve Ludzik.
Oh, good work down low by Carpenter and Paul Fenton. They never gave up, and they kept the pressure on.
No place for the timid out there right now, Nick. Up to center ice, Kings with it. Robitaille has a goal tonight. Down the middle goes Carson. Robitaille, he gives it to Duchesne. Duchesne to Carson, he shoots, save made. Rebound up the middle, Duchesne shoots. Blocked on the way in by Larmer, and the Chicago Blackhawks, Bob Murray with it. Boy, the Kings, Nick, unfortunately didn't have somebody right in the slot to get that rebound because it came right up the middle.
Yeah, it's about the first time the whole period that someone hasn't been there, because Chicago's not doing anything to clear out the Kings in front.
30 seconds ago in the King power play. Bernie Nichols drives it into the Chicago zone. Darren Pang cuts it off behind the net, lifts it on his backhand, but not out. Nichols holds it in the slot to Taylor. Left side, Duchesne shoots wide. Rebound right point. Nichols shoots wide left side. Rebound Duchesne. Duchesne to the left point. Duchesne's pass with 13 seconds to go on the power play. Now the right point. Carson to Nichols to Duchesne. His shot batted up in the air by Murray, and then Taylor knocked down, and a hand pass called against the Kings.
Well, I don't know, Bob. It looked to me like one of the Blackhawks knocked it down in the air with a glove. The Kings are complaining. Captain Dave Taylor is questioning that call by Bob Hall, but tremendous puck movement and pressure by the Kings as they continue to move that puck around. And you move it around like that so quickly, and you're going to get open shots because the defensive flow, the tendency is 3 or 4 of the players are going to move towards the flow of the puck, and you move it so fast, the puck is going to move faster than any skater, and that's why things are opening up high and down low. The Kings getting good chances down low to the side of the cage and in the slot, and the point men are getting opportunities.
12,349 here tonight. I think I'd have guessed a little bit more than that, Nick.
That was my guess.
Oh, yeah? Right on the button, huh? Now at center ice, Hawks are back at full strength. Kings drive it back behind the Blackhawk net. It's 4-2 in favor of the Kings. 11:10 to go in the second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Up to center. Here comes Nyland for Chicago. He tried to give it on the left wing side to Vive. It's out of his reach. Now it's centered around the left wing side again and taken off the boards by Kurt Fraser. Fraser going behind the King net. Fraser around the right side. Gets a pass in front. Broken up as Vive gets knocked down by Kennedy. Kings with it to center. Butsy Erickson, Chicago zone, trying to get around McGill. Nothing doing. Puck comes to the right point. Kennedy for the Kings. His pass deflected. Now Kennedy with it again. In deep right wing corner. He gets knocked down. Puck is taken and in deep in the right wing corner. A pass by Playfair. He's tied up by Fraser. Loose puck comes to the left point. Hammond holds it in. He gets belted pretty good. Puck is behind the Chicago net. Pang to Vive. Vive through a check, and the Blackhawks come out to center. Here is Vive getting bumped by Hammond, but Hammond got knocked down, but the Kings drive it in the Chicago zone. Pang behind the net. He gives it to McGill. McGill's pass all the way down into the Kings zone, and it's chased in by Kenny Hammond.
3 smart plays by Kenny Hammond. He pitched twice when he should have and had an opportunity, and the third time he picked up the man.
Here's Tukey for the Kings in the Chicago zone. Left side, pass up the middle, deflected off the skate wide of the net. Into the right wing corner, now to the right point. Held in by Duchesne. Duchesne to Kadelski, taken away. Hawks with it, up to center. Here is Ludzik across the line, and a shot wide and off the boards from the right side by Bergevin. Puck is held in as Fenton got knocked down. Now Wells with it, cleared it out to center ice. 9:30 to go, second period. 4-2 Kings. Mark Bergevin for the Blackhawks. Comes into the King zone, but is taken away by Kudelski. Here's Bob Kudelski to center. Kudelski to the red line. Kudelski flips it in the Chicago zone on target. Stop made by the goaltender, Darren Pang. Here's Nyland with it. Nyland for the Hawks. Cleared it up to the blue line. Fox on for the Kings. Pass comes ahead to center to Larmer. Right side. Here's Noonan. Noonan trying to get around Ledyard. Ledyard checks Noonan. Into the corner. Ludzik tried to dig it out. And he's spinning to get away from Fox. Fox steps in front of him behind the King net. Fox's pass knocked down by Bergevin, but his pass taken away by Fox again. He's knocked down, but he cleared it to center.
Good second and third effort by Fox. He kept fighting for that puck and finally was able to clear it out.
Now the King blue line. Jay Wells with it. Kings ahead 4-2. Wells passes in the Chicago zone. We're going to get icing here with 8:37 to go. Second period. 4-2 Kings, and we'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
8:37 left, second period. Kings 4, Blackhawks 2. Carson, the fourth Kings goal, is 17th from Kennedy and Fox at 5:48. Duchesne, Ledyard, Robitaille, and Carson tonight.
Blackhawks with it. Shot from the top of the side, deflected, and then Healy's lost his stick as Presley sent it toward the net, but the Kings are able to clear it out. Steve Larmer is on the ice for the Blackhawks now, playing in his 422nd consecutive game. Puck sent all the way down into the King zone. We're going to get icing here as Duchesne goes back to touch it for the Kings. So with the Kings ahead 4-2 here in the second period, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
The Lakers take on the always explosive Denver Nuggets at the Forum on Friday night.
4-2, Kings in front. Kings have never lost the lead. They led 3-1 after the first period. Actually had a 3-0 lead when it was 10 minutes old. Blackhawks battled back to make it a one-goal affair, but Jimmy Carson back out now to take the face-off has given the Kings that 2-goal edge.
And it's taken up to center ice by Presley to Doug Wilson for Chicago. Wilson gave it to Fraser, but they go offside at the blue line of the Blackhawks.
Kirk Fraser, formerly with the Vancouver Canucks, came over for Tony Tanti, and a lot of people may wonder, well, that was a bad deal, but at the time Tony Tanti was still playing junior hockey. Granted, he was a first-round draft choice by Chicago, but they figure they wanted someone established on the left side who had played a few years, like Kirk Fraser. Good size, tough, some pretty good scoring seasons with the Blackhawks. 25 last year, 29 2 years ago, and 25 the year before that. 6 feet 190, born in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Now Doug Wilson fires it into the King zone. Steered wide by Healy. Puck is in the right wing corner. Savard goes for it, but Duchesne steps in front of him. He gets it to Wells. Wells pass around on the left wing side, and it's battled for along the boards. Bobby Carpenter trying to kick it loose. He does. Wells with it. Wells pass and diving. Carpenter couldn't clear it. Hawks hold it in. Bergevin shooting stick saved by Healy. Rebound taken by the Kings, Steve Duchesne. Kings moving left to right, up to center. Here's Duchesne, 3-on-3 across the line. Duchesne drives it in back behind the Chicago net. Darren Pang, the goaltender, flips it along the boards, almost taken away by Nichols. Now Carpenter with it. He played it off the boards to Nichols. He's got Fox right side. He shoots, saved by Pang. Puck taken by Carpenter, right wing side. Carpenter to Fox. Chicago zone. His pass in deep, broken up by Doug Wilson. Headmans it up the center to Savard. Here's Dennis Savard. Goes to the right side across the King line. He stops, passes in deep, broken up by Jay Wells. Wells for the Kings. Feeds it up the center. Here's Robitaille. Robitaille ahead to Fox, who got knocked down at the blue line, and the Blackhawks with it. Pass to the King line, taken by Fraser. He overskated. Kings with it. They got Taylor down the middle. Alone. In front. He shoots. Save. Rebound. Score. Dave Taylor. Dave Taylor with his own rebound, and with that point becomes the highest scoring collegiate player in NHL history. His 814th career point, 41st on the all-time NHL list. He took a nice pass, came right down the middle. He got stopped on the first shot by Pang with a right Great leg save, and then Taylor with his rebound put it in. Kings 5, Blackhawks 2.
Ninth goal of the season for Dave Taylor. Wells with a perfect head-manning pass. And again, the Kings victimized the Blackhawks, going right down the middle for a scoring opportunity. That's been the story for the Kings offensively here in the second. Penalty, Bob, right off the draw as the Blackhawks shot it in. I think they got Ledyard. Interference will be the call. 5-2 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. The goal once again at 13:10. Jay Wells setting up Dave Taylor right up the middle. Taylor goes in, will take a shot, trying to pick the low left corner. Save is made, but on the backhand, he chips it in. His ninth from Wells. Now the Blackhawks go in the power play as they again try and battle back from a 3-goal deficit.
Second 3-goal lead the Kings have had in this game. Here's Doug Wilson now for Chicago, sending it in deep. It's picked up by Vive. Vive to Troy Murray up the middle to Wilson. That's where he likes to shoot on the power play, but he didn't get all of it. And the Kings clear it into the Chicago zone.
I think I said when we broke away Ledyard the penalty. The penalty went to Erickson for interfering with Kurt Frazier. The time at 13:20. Third power play for Chicago.
Up to center they come now and into the Kings zone. Troy Murray with it. Murray to the top of the slot. He goes to the right side. Murray still with it on his stick. Dropped it off now up the middle to Brian Noonan. Left point to Doug Wilson. Here's Wilson to Noonan. Noonan with it as Vive gets knocked down in front of the net. Over to Troy Murray. Up the middle to Noonan. Noonan walking in right side. Shot. Saved by Healy. Penalty coming up. Against who? The Kings. A second penalty against the Kings. Chicago with it. Here's a pass to Noonan. Left side. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Puck is in the corner. Taken by the Kings, and we got the penalty. Cross-checking. Kings are going to be 2 men short for a minute 1.
Well, this is a big point in the game for the Chicago Blackhawks.
And with a 5-2 lead, the Kings over the Hawks. This game is coming to you live from the fabulous Forum.
This portion of tonight's Kings hockey game is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. And by Avis, who invites you to go.
Kennedy cross-checking at 14:19, a 2-man advantage for a minute and 1 second. Savard will be out. Noonan will be out. Doug Wilson will be out. Vive is over on the bench toweling off. Dean Kennedy for cross-checking. Vive was standing all alone in front for about 5 or 6 seconds, and Healy had slashed him on the back of the legs, but that went unnoticed, uncalled by Bob Hall. But then Kennedy cleaned out one of the Blackhawks in front as they moved in for a shot.
Now on the draw in the Kings zone. The Kings really up against it here. The best power play in the league, and the Kings are 2 men short. Doug Wilson into Savard. Savard back to Wilson. He shoots. Save Healy. Rebound right side. Noonan with it. Noonan to Wilson. To Noonan. To Wilson. Top of the slot. To Noonan. Right side. Feeds it down in deep to Larmer. He didn't get it. Wells with it, and he clears it. Back into the Chicago zone. 2-man advantage for 30 more seconds for the Blackhawks. Kings ahead 5-2. Here's Savard into the Kings zone. Cuts to the right side. Top of the right circle. Savard into the slot. Spins. Shoots. Deflected. Loose puck to the blue line. Held in. Chicago with it. Noonan to Doug Wilson. To Noonan. Top of the slot. Right side. Larmer. Larmer back to Noonan. Noonan gives it to Doug Wilson. Wilson on the left side to Noonan. Noonan in deep. Savard shoots. He hit the goal post. Puck score on the rebound. Steve Larmer on the right wing. Another power play goal, and they get it with only 2 seconds left in the 2-man advantage. So now Chicago will still have a power play.
Larmer with his 14th. I was watching that clock, hoping at least the first one would expire, but Larmer puts in the rebound as Healy was down and out after making a save, or actually having the post help him out from his right side. But Larmer at 15-18 with the power play goal. 5-3 Kings. So the penalty to Erickson expires. It only had 2 seconds left on it. But now Kennedy has 101 left on his minor. Savard will get 1 assist along with Noonan. So the Blackhawks 2 power play goals tonight. Now with 40 on the season, they have more special team goals than they do even strength goals this season.
Now the Hawks still with a power play, and another power play goal brings them right back in the game. Kings had led 5-2. Now it's 5-3. Hawks with it. Down the right side, Savard in the King zone for another 45 seconds on the power play. Pass in deep in front, saved by Healy, and the rebound is cleared by Bob Bourne. As Vibe came around and tried to come right around the goalpost and get a shot from about 5 feet out. Puck is driven back into the King zone. In goes Kenny Hammond behind the net, and he slaps at the length of the ice. All the way behind the Chicago net. 20 seconds to go in the Chicago power play. 5-3. Kings lead it, second period. Here's Ben Wilson. Sends it ahead now on the right side, Troy Murray. Murray cut off by Hammond. Murray against the right wing board. Still with it. Back to the right point. Now left side to Ben Wilson. Wilson sends it right point. Gets it back again. Top of the slot. Over to Vibe. Vibe on the left side. Kings are back at full strength. A shot from the blue line by Ben Wilson. Comes to Vibe in the corner. Chopped away by Hardy. Held in by Fraser. Left side Ben Wilson. Shooting. Oh, that hit the post, I believe. Hit something in front and deflected to the left, and the Kings put it, and Kennedy clears it up into the Chicago bench.
Well, the Blackhawks allowed to get that puck in the attacking zone and move it around. The Kings are not very aggressive in their efforts to go right at the puck carrier. Of course, sometimes you're just mesmerized when you see a team out there that you know is very potent with the power play. And the Blackhawks certainly have shown that here tonight and throughout the course of the season thus far. Bob Murdoch, head coach of the Blackhawks, looking on as his team now tonight officially 2 of 4 on the power play. 5-3 Kings with 3:24 left to play in the second period. Rick Vibe has a goal and an assist, Bob, and he's going to be our guest on the radio side in just a few moments after period number 2.
Blackhawks with 7 straight shots, and they've got 10 in this period. The Kings with 11. Kings leading 5-3. We mentioned Dave Taylor becoming the highest scoring collegiate player in NHL history. 330 goals, 484 assists for his 814 points. 41st on the all-time NHL scoring list. Not bad for a guy drafted 214.
And he's really determined to prove that last year was somewhat of a fluke. He did not hit 20 goals for, I think, the first time since his rookie season. And Taylor is off and just playing some solid hockey, as you would expect from the captain.
Now on the draw, Hawks with it, left point. Here is a shot from there, and a save made on the shot by Nyland. Kick saved by Healy. Puck is centered up the middle by Duchesne and taken away. Chicago holds it in. Sent in by Bob Murray. Right side now to the right of the King net. Play is whistled dead there with 3:07 to go in the second period. 5-3 Kings. Remember, Saturday, the United States Olympic team and the Canadian Olympic team will meet here at the Forum at 1 o'clock. Saturday night, the Calgary Flames will take on the Kings here, and Sunday night, the New Jersey Devils will be here.
Darren Pang is now the goaltender of record. Again, Steve Larmer, we've talked about him. One of the outstanding two-way hockey players on the Chicago Blackhawks. Wears number 28. Played right wing predominantly with Dennis Savard throughout his career. 5 seasons with the Blackhawks. He's averaged 37 goals and 83 points. Not too shabby. He had a brother that played in the NHL for a while, Jeff Larmer.
Face off to the left of the King goaltender Glenn Healy. Dennis Savard on the draw. He only needs 2 assists now for 500 in his career. He's got 1 tonight. Up to center, here's Jimmy Fox. Fox for the Kings to the red line. Flips it into the Chicago zone with 2:54 to go, second period. 5-3 Kings lead. Puck is taken by Fox, right wing side into the corner to Carpenter. He didn't get it. Bob Murray gives it to Wayne Presley. Presley gets it to Nyland. Nyland to center for Chicago. Shoots it into the King zone, and behind the net, Jay Wells has trouble with it. He's bumped there, recovers, passes up to Nichols. Bernie is bumped and knocked down on top of the puck.
Nichols tried to fake out Bob Murray, trying to get Murray to go for the fake that he would take the puck off the boards, and Bernie just turned his back and tried to take Murray out of the play, but it didn't work. Bernie Nichols, since returning, has been red hot. Of course, he tied a club record the other night at Buffalo with a 6-point game. He got points in all 10 games since returning from his broken finger.
Faceoff will be in the Chicago zone. Nick, what do you think about Paul Coffey going to Pittsburgh?
A lot of players involved. I tell you, Pittsburgh gave a lot of young talent to the Edmonton Oilers. I like Craig Simpson. Joseph, of course, just 18 years old, their #1 pick, and he was a high draft choice, so you know he's got some talent.
Now the top of the slot, Chicago with it. Doug Wilson goes to the left point. His drive in deep behind the King net, rolled out in front. Shot saved by Healy on the shot by Troy Murray. And the Kings will bring it to center. Here's Bob Bourne. Bourne throwing it on the right side to Taylor. Taylor, Chicago zone, but he got mixed up with Bourne, and it comes back out to center. Pittsburgh was a winner tonight. The Edmonton Oilers a loser as the puck comes up out of play. 2:07 to go, second period. Kings have a 5-3 lead. I don't think Coffey, I know he didn't have a goal.
Yeah, he had an assist or two. The Blackhawks starting to get some good scoring opportunities now. Troy Murray, just at the side of the cage, comes out in front for a loose puck after Healy stopped a walkout, and Healy makes a save in the midsection and deflects to the right side. So with that two-man advantage earlier this period, Bob, Chicago has picked up their offense, and now they're starting to carry play. Healy with 21 saves tonight.
Face-off out at center ice. Bernie Nichols wins the draw, flips it into the Chicago zone. McGill with it there for the Hawks. 2 minutes to go, second period. Kings had trouble in Toronto the other night when they lost 2 4-goal leads by giving up goals late in one period and early in another. Now here's Vibe behind the King net. Vibe around the right side, gets knocked down, gets it into Savard. Savard in the corner. He's checked by Nichols. Savard still with it, checked by Duchesne. Now who's got it? Vibe with it, lost it to Carpenter, and he clears it out. The Kings gave up a goal with only 20 seconds to go in the first period here tonight, and then won with 3:16 into the second period. Kings take it away in front. Fox with it. Oh, Doug Wilson tried a hard pass up the middle, and Fox got it on his stick, but couldn't recover in time to get a shot. He was right in front of the crease. Hawks send it down into the Kings zone. Duchesne back to get it. Kings ahead 5-3, 1:15 to go. Second period. Kings with it. Fox, Chicago line. Fox in the slot. Fox shoots. Stick save by Pang. Rebound to Carpenter. Carpenter tried to pass into Nichols. He's been knocked down. Blackhawks come back to center ice now. Pass ahead to Larmer. Offside, Chicago. With exactly 1 minute to go in the second period, the Blackhawks offside at the King blue line, and they're upset over that call. Darren Pang had the Blackhawks' Doug Wilson make a mistake right out in front of him. Wilson just tried a hard pass up the middle. Jimmy Fox was there, and it hit him. He turned around and just couldn't get to the puck again, or he'd have been all alone in front. Doug Wilson recovered for the Blackhawks. 1 minute to go, second period. And the puck taken and driven down into the King zone and chased down by Dean Kennedy. Kennedy on the right side, cleared it out to center. Taken there by Dave Manson for Chicago to Ben Wilson. Manson back at the Chicago blue line, up to center ice. 44 seconds left to go, second period. Kings break it up with their own blue line. Kudelski ahead to Bourne. Here's Bourne. He shoots. It's wide left side. Rebound behind the Chicago net. Going forward is Paul Fenton. He couldn't get it. 30 seconds left to go, second period. Kudelski holds it in. Now the puck comes around to Mike Stapleton for the Hawks. He gets it up to Bergevin. Bergevin to center, sends it on the right side to Ben Wilson. 20 seconds to go in this period. Kings take it away. It's cleared back out to center ice by Paul Fenton. 15 seconds left, second period. Fenton with it for the Kings at center ice, drives it in the Chicago zone. We're down to 10 seconds to go in this period. Kings with a 5-3 lead. The Hawks had come to within 3-2 of this period, but the Kings got the last 2 goals. 2 seconds to go in the period. A long shot from center ice at the buzzer by Nyland, and a save by Healy. And we are at the end of 2 periods. In the second period, as Glenn Healy skates off, Kurt Fraser beat him at 3:16 with a second of the year from Rick Vibe and Troy Murray. Then the Kings got 2. Carson with his 17th from Kennedy and Fox at 5:48. Taylor getting his 9th from Wells at 13:10. And then Steve Larmer.
Questions for any member of the Kings organization. And for those of you whose letters we use and questions we use on the air this year, you'll be the winners of the 2 tickets to an upcoming Kings game, and we'll also enable you to be eligible for our grand prize at the end of the season, which we'll be announcing a little bit later on. Now, tonight's question is intended for Jay Wells, and it comes from Bill Ferguson of Van Nuys, California. He asked, Jay, how do you decide whether to block a shot and risk screening the goaltender or to back off and give him a clear view of the shot? Well, that's a good question, Bill, and we put that question on your behalf to Jay Wells.
Not a very easy question to answer, tell you the truth. It's kind of a thing you gotta play by sight or whatever. If you're real close, if it's a one-on-one confrontation, you can usually stand up and try to block it. The best thing that I like to do is use my stick with possible, either deflect it in the corner or up over the glass and out of the rink. If the guy's 20 or 30 feet away, like for example, defenseman shooting, and you're standing in front of the net playing your position, the best thing to do is clear men out from in front of the net so they can't get their rebound or a deflection themselves. So probably the worst thing and probably the biggest mistake that the defense do is they go down on shots. That allows the offensive player to fake a shot, go around you, takes you 2 seconds or so to get up, and 9 out of 10 times they stick it in the net before you get back into the play. So the best thing to do most likely is to stand there. If it's a close in, if they're only a foot or two away, try to get in front of it. But if it's a long distance shot, 9 out of 10 times clear the men out in front of the net and let your goaltender see it. Let them have time to freeze the puck, dump it in the corner, or get a whistle, whatever.
Okay, Bill, thanks a lot for your question, and thanks to Jay Wells for the answer. And Bill, of course, you are now the winner of 2 tickets to an upcoming Kings game, and you're eligible for our grand prize. Now, we've had a great response to Ask a King, and we invite you, the viewers, to write in with your questions. Please send your postcard for that. The Kings are
leads in 2 of those games. What has Mike Murphy told the team about this third period?
Well, obviously, we don't want to remind the players we've been blowing lead because we want them to approach this period with a positive attitude. So the thing we reminded them is to continue to make safe plays. We don't need to gamble at this point. We're ahead by 2 goals. No gamble plays in their zone, and particularly in our zone. It's in and it's out of our zone, and we make safe plays. And Bob, I want to take this opportunity to wish you and your viewers a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much, Bill. The same to you and your family and to all of you. We hope you have a very happy and bountiful Thanksgiving tomorrow.
5-3, the Kings up. The shots, 25 Chicago, 22 LA. Face-offs, 23 King wins, 18 Chicago. On the power play, Blackhawks 2 of 4, and the Kings are 1 of 4. Kings defend to our right. Here's Bob.
Third period underway. Bob Bourne sends it in the Chicago zone. The Kings are up by 2. Darren Pang, the relief goaltender for the Hawks, sends it around the boards out to center ice. Bourne over to get it. He gives it to Hardy. Hardy plays it up in front of the King bench to Fenton. He rolled it backhand to the Chicago line. Taken away there now by Bob McGill. McGill's pass to Presley right in front of the Chicago bench. Taken away for a moment by Bourne. Now he has it at center ice. Fanned as he tried to backhand it into the Chicago zone. We've played 30 seconds of the third period. Kings have a 5-3 lead. Puck is at center ice. Here is Ledyard. Ledyard trying to flip it into the Chicago zone. He got it to the blue line to Fenton. Paul Fenton across the line goes to the right side. He backhands it in behind the Chicago net. Fighting for it there. Kings with it. Hardy shooting, and it's wide to the right side. Darren Pang, the goaltender, almost got caught. And the pass came to Hardy, and he shot it wide as Pang scrambled to get back in front of the net.
Again, a good effort by Brian Erickson. That line has been buzzing tonight. He got in there, stole the puck, set up Hardy, heading in from the left point, but Hardy misfired partially on the shot and missed the upper right corner.
Blackhawks drive it into the King zone now as Nyland sends it back behind the King net. Kings moving right to left. Third period just underway. Pass up the middle to Carpenter to the blue line, held in by the Hawks. Back to get it now, Jay Wells, as he goes behind the King net. Wells waits there, comes around the left side, plays it off the glass, out to center and into the Chicago zone. We're going to have no icing here. Nyland goes back to get it. Kings ahead 5-3. Puck comes up to center. Here's Steve Larmer for the Hawks. Drives it to the King zone, broken up and cleared by Duchesne. Back to center, taken by Bob Murray. Murray for the Hawks, chased by Carpenter. Murray's pass up to center ice, broken up by Wells. Wells to Duchesne. Duchesne to Fox. Fox to the red line. He drives it back behind the Chicago net. Darren Pang back to get it there. Now Nyland starting out. He drops it off to Murray. Murray's pass ahead to Vive. Oh, Vive rocked with a check, but Savard with it down the right side. He tried to get a shot. He came close to getting fouled there by the Kings, either hooked or held, but he got the shot off. Nothing called, and the Kings clear it back into the Chicago zone. Wells really rocked Vive with a shot at the blue line, or with a check at the blue line, but the pass came over to Savard, and he tried to walk down the right side of the King zone. Now the puck is in the Chicago zone. Chased in by Mike Stapleton. Stapleton behind the net, stops there. Dave Taylor around to pick him up. Puck taken by Nyland. He clears it to center and all the way down into the Kings zone. If the Kings play it the way they want to in this fifth period, Nick, it could be really a boring period, but they could win the game. Here's Jimmy Carson, right side. His pass, he tried to hit the trailer, Robitaille, but it came back out to center ice. As you heard Phil Mears say, the Kings are going to take no chances here. The puck is going to come in their zone, and if they get it, it's going to be right back out to center ice. Kings with a 2-goal lead. Mike Stapleton fires it back behind the King net. Healy stops it, still has it. Now his pass, tipped out in front, saved by Healy on the shot from the right side by O'Callaghan. I think it's his first time on the, or not O'Callaghan, I'm sorry, he's not with him. Shot from the slot, tipped away by Glenn Cochran. It was Cochran who came out and got his first shift of the game as far as I know, and he got stopped by Healy. Now a pass in front by Stapleton, and he stopped. Saw that 5, and I hadn't seen it before. O'Callaghan, of course, had been traded to New Jersey, and that time Glenn Cochran got a shot from the right side. Now he got everybody pairing off. So everything breaks up peacefully. 5-3 Kings. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
5-3 Kings. The Kings are 5-1-1 when leading after 2 periods, and perfect at the Forum, 3-0. Duchesne, Ledyard, Robitaille, Carson, and Taylor. The goal scorers. Carson now with a team high 17 goals, and this is the 22nd game of the season.
Face-off will be to the left of Glenn Healy, and on the draw, the puck is in the right wing corner of the King zone. Presley being hounded there by Hammond. Blackhawks with a right point shot by McGill. Came through traffic wide to the left. Puck taken by Kudelski. He can't get it, but the Kings do clear it to center. Here is Paul Fenton with it down. Fenton across the line. He shoots, and a save by Pang. He went down to his knees, which is not very far for him to go down. He's only 5'5", and he caught it shoulder high.
Paul Fenton and Bob Kudelski doing good work along the boards inside the Kings blue line. And Paul Fenton whistled one from about 45 feet, wearing number 8. Has been a very consistent hockey player, both offensively and defensively for the Kings since he was recalled 3 weeks into the season. Has 9 points in 13 games with the Kings, had 16 points in 5 games when recalled on October 24th. 16 points in 5 games at New Haven.
Bourne won the draw, but the Blackhawks bring it to center now. Here is Kurt Fraser. He's all by himself with nobody else from his team around, so he just brought it across the blue line. Gives it on the right side now to Presley. Now a pass up the middle. Chicago with it. King zone. To the right point shot by McGill. Stick save by Healy. Nice save. Well, a lot of bodies in front of McGill. Shoots. Save again by Healy, and he covers up.
Well, the Kings had the puck, picked up a loose puck inside their own blue line and just cleared it off the near boards, and then the Blackhawks kept it in. They did some good work, and they set up McGill on a couple of occasions. He might be considered the other guy in years to come. Part of that multiplayer deal with Toronto. His first shot kicked into the corner. Then he gets the puck back again and fires from the top of the right circle, and Healy saw that one all the way. Vive, Thomas, who is injured, and McGill coming over from Toronto. Red Olchek and Al Secor. 26 saves tonight for Glenn Healy, looking for his 3rd win in this his rookie season. He comes in 2 wins and 4 losses, and looking to give the Kings 2 wins in a row for the first time this year.
Dennis Savard out to take the face-off in the Kings zone. Kings ahead 5-3, 15:46 to go, 3rd period. On the draw, Chicago, right point. A drive is wide of the net by Nyland, chased down by Duchesne. Duchesne into the corner with Larmer. It's dug out by 5 for Chicago. Left point, held right on the blue line by Nyland. His pass to Vive, he centered it, broken up by Carpenter. He played the boards out the center, ahead to Fox. Fox, left wing, Chicago's zone, he shoots wide to the left side. Moving to his right, he tried to pick the lower left-hand corner. Now at center ice, Savard gets knocked down there by Carpenter, and then he tripped Carpenter or slashed him. And is Carpenter hurt or not? Carpenter getting up. He's had the sore foot that he got on the road, and he comes over. The Kings will go on the power play. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Denny Savard in the penalty box, slashing .444. He's been in there a couple of times tonight. He only has 1 assist in the game. He really got shouldered to the ice as Carpenter came back defensively, and Carpenter took the puck, was going to flip it on the far side. Savard turned away and slashed Carpenter on the back of the left leg, and he was caught for retaliation. I'll tell you, Bob, Bobby Carpenter, the way he is playing, is having an all-star type of year. He's scoring, he's skating, he's hitting, he's bumping, he's playing defense.
And he was not hurt on the play, although he stayed down for a moment, but he's all right. Puck is in the Kings zone. Here's Bernie Nichols with it. Kings ahead 5-3, and they've got the power play now. Nichols starting out of the Kings zone, gives it to Hardy. Hardy to center. He drives it hard around the boards to Taylor. Taylor right side. Taylor goes behind the Chicago net, still has it. Taylor to Robitaille. Robitaille around in front, tried to roll it to Carson, tipped away, and not clear. Held in by the Kings. Right on the blue line by Nichols. Now it bounces to Chicago, and they've got 8 short-handed goals this year. They bring it to center, taken away by Robitaille. Tipped away from him out to center ice. Taylor with it again. Minute 20 to go in the King power play. Now Nichols. Nichols passing it down the right side in the Chicago zone. Goaltender Darren Tang cuts it off behind the net. Puck comes around the boards. Taken by Carson. Left point to Hardy. Hardy, right side. Nichols with it. Nichols to Carson. Saved by Tang. Rebound, score! Robitaille! Robitaille got the rebound to the right of the Chicago net, and he just flipped it in from near the crease. A power play goal. Kings lead it 6-3.
Nichols floated one through a maze of legs to Carson, who was stopped, but it came off the dasher boards right to Robitaille, who tucks it in. Robitaille's second of the night, 10th of the season. A power play goal at 5:40. Good puck movement by the Kings. So the Kings, Bob, red hot in the power play last week. The Blackhawks red hot in the power play all year. And the Kings and the Blackhawks each with 2 power play goals here tonight.
Now the Hawks are back at full strength. Puck is in the Chicago zone. Sent up to center ice. Carson and Nichols with the assist on that goal, as now we have an offside Kings at the Chicago blue line.
Robitaille with a couple of goals. Nichols 2 assists. Jimmy Carson a goal and 2 assists. Bobby Carpenter has an assist tonight. So again, Bob, like we saw in Buffalo on Sunday, the 8-5 win, the big guns are continuing to put up some impressive figures for the Kings.
Yeah, 6 goals again tonight now. Puck comes around the boards to the right point, bouncing out to center past Dean Kennedy. Puck taken by Kudelski. Over to Hammond, to center ice to Bob Bourne. Bourne gets it back in the King zone, taken there by Kennedy. Kings moving it around now. Here is Hammond with it to center. He drives it in the Chicago zone. 13:40 to go, third period. Kings up by 3 for the 3rd time in the game. Here is Noonan down the right wing. Brian Noonan into the King zone. He's bumped there. Puck is behind the net. Fraser with it. Fraser comes against the right wing boards, drops it off. Here's Ben Wilson in front. He got bumped. He got a shot and hit a skate on the way in. Noonan with it. Left wing side. He's bumped by Hammond. Hawks still with it. Doug Wilson unloads wide to the left side. Rebound, Paul Fenton. Oh, he cleared off the glass, but not out. Now he gets it on the second try. Ahead to Bob Bourne. He clears it down in the Chicago zone.
Smart play by Kudelski. He could have made it a 2-on-1, but it was the end of the shift. He got off. He got some fresh legs out there. The Kings, again, not looking for goals now. Just protect the lead.
Bobby Carpenter at center ice sends it in the Chicago zone. Back to get it behind the net is Bob Murray. 12:45 to go. Third period. Kings 6, Hawks 3. Rick Vide, right wing. He shoots. Saved by Healy. Rebound left side, driven wide by the Hawks as it was held in by Cochran. Now against the right wing side. Wells pulled down by Savard, but he cleared it to center. And
the linesman fell down. I think John D'Amico and Jay Wells may have been shaken up on the play, and we got a whistle. I don't think it was from Bob Hall. Now Vive and Carpenter come together at center, and they have some words. I think the Kings are a little upset that Wells didn't draw the penalty, and he was hooked from behind as he tried to skate the puck out of his own zone. The linesman, Mark Vines, keeping Vive away from Bobby Carpenter. 3 straight 50-goal seasons with Toronto. Best season, 83-84, 52 goals, 93 points. The only Maple Leaf to score 50 goals in a season, right?
Yep. And he just had a great chance from the right wing, and Healy came up with the save to keep the Kings ahead by 3.
Well, he is so strong on his skates. Strong to bump off the puck when he's got position in front of the power play, and when he comes down that right wing, he's deadly accurate. He was trying to pick the low left corner stick side on Healy, but Glenn stayed right with the shot and kicked it out.
Faceoff will be inside the King blue line, right at the top of the faceoff circle to the left of Healy. Saturday night, the Calgary Flames are here. Think they can't score goals? 10 against the Kings. They had 9 the other night against New Jersey in a 9-2 win. Now Bob Murray for Chicago. Left point. Nyland shooting. Blocked in front and cleared to the blue line and out by Jimmy Fox. Was blocked on the way in. And then Fox cleared it back into the Chicago zone. 12:10 to go. Third period. Kings 6. Blackhawks 3. Puck comes up to center ice. Taken away by Duchesne. He flips it back Chicago zone. Chased down by Carpenter. All alone. Cutting in. He fell down. He shoots anyway and a save by Pang. He lost the edge on his skate just as he got the puck, and he would have been all alone. Well, now we got Cochran out there, and you might know when you get Cochran out there that you're going to get some of this. Or now Playfair
manhandled the ref for the linesman, Bob, and that might cost him.
Yeah, that could be 3 or 20. Is it not right?
That's right.
I think a physical abuse of the official, and that might be what they call it. Playfair was trying to get around John D'Amico.
Either that or he might have slipped. I don't know what the interpretation is, but it certainly looked like Playfair was trying to get at the Blackhawk defenseman, Glenn Cochran, and he and D'Amico went down in a pile. Larry Playfair, 6-3. Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Wells has some words for a couple of other Chicago Blackhawk players. I think in principle it was Dave Manson, who has not played a lot. They're still waltzing around out there. Nyland is restraining Wells, but Wells is not upset with Nyland. He's upset with Manson. Everybody's still milling around right at the blue line in front of the Chicago bench.
Well, Cochran is standing down in the runway. He's headed possibly off the ice. He's waiting to see what happens.
Well, he is off the ice, Bob. If he's standing next to the stands, Playfair was already sent off, so the Blackhawks have 4 skaters out, as do the Kings, and now things have calmed down. Glenn Cochran picked up in the waiver draft by the Blackhawks, a big tough guy, started out in the Philadelphia organization, and just a role player predominantly the last couple of years. And I think Mike Murphy sensed that with Cochran out there for a couple of shifts that he wanted to counter. He put Playfair out there with Fox and Bobby Carpenter on that shift. Playfair playing left wing since coming back last week from his knee problem. So Bernie Nichols replaced by Playfair on that shift, with Carpenter moving to center and Fox on the right, because Murphy saw that the Blackhawks and coach Bob Murdoch were putting out some beef there, and he didn't want his club to get pushed around. And of course, from the Kings standpoint, the one guy you want on the ice when the pushing and shoving begins is Larry Playfair. And we're going to get some penalties. We're going to try and sort it out right now. 6-3, the Kings are in front. The only goal here in the third. Luke Robitaille, second of the game and 10th of the season from Carson and Nichols. Troy Murray, Jay Wells standing. Bob Hall has now made his decision.
Chicago penalty.
Here are the calls.
To number 5, Glenn Cochran, 2 minutes for roughing.
Well, the scoring tonight for the Kings: Carson with 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. Robitaille with a couple of goals. Nichols and Wells each with 2 assists. Players with multiple point nights. They have now announced Playfair gets 2 for roughing. He gets a misconduct and a game misconduct, so he is gone for the balance of the contest, obviously. Glenn Cochran, 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. And Steve Duchesne is getting 2 for slashing. So what this all means, the Blackhawks will have a power play. They're 5th tonight. Duchesne in the penalty box. All these penalties at 8:03. Duchesne got the minor for slashing, giving the Blackhawks the power play. Playfair and Cochran, 2 each for roughing, each get 10 for misconducts, and Playfair the extra game misconduct. 12 penalties, Chicago, 41 minutes, Kings 15 penalties. We've had, let's see, 5 power plays aside right now, with the Blackhawks working on their 5th.
And the Kings ahead 6-3, 11:52 to go, 3rd period. Blackhawks at center ice. Bob Bourne took it away for a moment from Troy Murray. Now the Hawks with it in deep in front. Presley shooting, and it's deflected, and a penalty coming up.
Yeah, somebody decked Healy in front
against Chicago. Delayed call. Puck comes in the Chicago zone, and Stapleton touches it.
Ben Wilson is going to go to the penalty box. He was standing right in Healy's crease, and he shouldered Healy from making a save. 6-3 Kings will be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Ben Wilson, again, he missed all of last year with back problems. Interference at 8:25. He not only stood in Glenn Healy's crease, but he knocked down the goaltender. Both clubs are shy of skater now for 138. Healy had made a save, and then Wilson came right in, and Healy, off balance, was helped to the floor by Ben Wilson.
Blackhawks haven't been very smart tonight, Nick. They've had a chance right here to possibly get back in the game with a power play, and then they take a penalty to nullify that. Both teams are a man short. Kings with it. Ledyard shooting, and a save by Pang. Ledyard firing from the right faceoff circle. Puck taken by the Blackhawks. Kings ahead 6-3, 11:24 to go here in the 3rd period. Bobby Carpenter up front for the Kings with Nichols. Hawks with it now. Wilson drops it back to Savard. Savard back in front. His pass broken up by Nichols. Nichols checked by Larmer, but he gets it over to Jay Wells. Here's Wells sending it all the way down into the Chicago zone. The goaltender Pang plays it up toward the blue line to Larmer. 11 minutes to go, 3rd period, 6-3, Kings lead it. Here is Larmer across the King line, and it's taken away by Bernie Nichols. He lost it in front. Bob Murray scores! So the Blackhawks pulled to within 2 as Bob Murray came in all alone and just went to the left and tucked it in behind Ely. 6-4 Kings.
And for veteran Bob Murray, his 3rd. Nichols had the puck. He had trouble. Murray stole it. Gave it right in front to the other Murray, Bob. Troy to Bob, and he dekes on the backhand and tucks it right between the pads.
Chicago Blackhawks goal.
So Troy Murray stealing it from Bernie Nichols, setting up Bob Murray. They're not related. 3rd goal of the season. The goal coming with both clubs shy a skater. 4 skaters aside. The goal at 9:11. Bob Murray from Troy Murray. 6-4 Kings. 10:49 now left to play.
Steve Larmer also with an assist on that goal. And the puck taken down, sent in deep, tipped away. Puck is picked up by Vive. Vive in the King zone, he shoots. Blocked in front, Vive again. In a tangle of skates, the puck comes over against the boards. Left wing side, Vive for Chicago. Bumped by Ledyard. They battle along the boards to the left point. Now to the right point to Bergevin. Bergevin, he sends it in deep. A real battle going on. Hardy with Troy Murray, and the Kings still trying to clear it. Carson in to help out. Now to Fox. Fox hold it in again behind the King net. Here is Carson with it. Carson over to Ledyard. Ledyard clears it to center. In 8 seconds, the Kings are going to have a power play, but it's only going to be about a 18-second power play, or 21-second power play. Up to center, Hawks with it. Savard, right side, across the line, up the middle. Bergevin shoots, blocked, rebound. Kings with it. Jimmy Carson up to center. May have a breakaway, but getting back is Larmer. Carson with one hand on it is pulled off the puck by Larmer. Back come the Hawks. Kings are on the power play. Hawks with it across the line, and on the right side, backhander by Larmer right through the slot to Savard. Chicago back at full strength. Savard shot blocked by Wells. Wells comes to the blue line, couldn't clear it. Hawks with it. They've got a man in deep right side. It's Savard. He's bumped in the right wing corner. Gets it to Larmer. Back to Savard. Backhander. Save. Healy. Rebound. Savard gets it out to Presley. Now he throws it behind the King net. 9:10 to go. 3rd period. And a collision. Fox collided with one of the Hawks who's injured. It is Wayne Presley. Presley and Fox collided. And Presley is in pain down on the ice in the corner down near where the Kings come onto the ice. And he is really in pain as he and Fox collided.
Fox tried to avoid the check as he went to pass it up on the left wing boards. He mishandled the puck. He was falling, and he kind of clipped the outside of the left knee of Wayne Presley, much like a football player does on a clip. Fox poking it ahead, fanning on it, falls down, and it's the outside of the left knee of Wayne Presley. So a heavy collision. Presley still on the ice, being attended to by the Chicago trainer. Wayne Presley, 5'11", 175, from Detroit. He's 22 years old, last year with 32 goals in his first full season with Chicago.
The Kings have a 6-4 lead, 9:07 to go, third period. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
A pre-Olympic matchup awaits the U.S. hockey team.
9:07, Presley is being helped off the ice. The closest exit, the door where the Kings come off. Trainer Mark O'Neill on Presley's right helping. And he is in a lot of discomfort. He really got clipped with the midsection of Jimmy Fox. As Fox fell down, seeing the check coming, watch the left knee of Presley. It's going to get clipped right on the right hip of Fox, and Fox has got a lot of his weight going right at that point of his body, and Presley shaken up for a good 2 or 3 minutes before they could help him off.
6-4 in favor of the Kings, 9:07 to go, third period. Face-off outside the King blue line. It'll be Jimmy Carson taking the draw against Mike Stapleton. Carson wins the draw into Hardy. Both teams are at full strength. Hardy sends it back into the Chicago zone. Ben Wilson with it. His pass knocked down by Robitaille. Luke centered it, broken up. Kings Hardy pinches just inside the line, and poke checks it away from Ludzik. Puck is still in the Chicago zone, now lifted high in the air. Back into the King zone, and Hardy back to get it. Hardy throws it off the boards up the center. Jimmy Carson overskated. Loose puck right at the blue line, and Chicago with it, offside call.
The puck rolling along the ice, slower and slower, and about 8 players over skating. Everett Santapass, number 7 of the Blackhawks, one of their many. He's a rookies on the club, a left winger, as you mentioned, Bob, a full-blooded Indian. He played junior hockey at Verdun, a line mate of Jimmy Carson. Carson's last year in the Quebec Major Junior League.
He's the second full-blooded Indian to play for the Blackhawks. The other was, time's up, Nick, Fred Saskamoose in 1953-54. Puck is taken now by Mark Hardy. Hardy up to center ice, across the red line, gives it over on the far side to Ledyard. He backhands it in the Chicago zone. 8:27 to go. We are in the third period. Kings have a 2-goal lead. 3 times in the game, they've led by 3. Up to center, puck poked away by Ledyard. Back down into the Chicago zone. Darren Pang plays it around the boards. Kings try to take it away. Picked up by Robitaille, left wing side, into Carson. Carson, Chicago zone. Carson with a shooting save made. Rebound to Fox. Fox put it behind the net, out of the reach of Robitaille. Taken by Ben Wilson. Now up to center. 7:57 to go. Third period. Long shot driven by Santapass into the King zone. Poked away by Wells. Bob Murray pinches in to try and hold it in. Robitaille takes it for the Kings. Cleared it up to center to Nichols. Nichols can't catch up with it. Santapass back to get it for the Chicago Blackhawks. He's back in his own zone. They head now to Brian Noonan out of Boston, Massachusetts. On the right wing to Savard. Savard couldn't get a good shot. Center behind the King. Gets to Noonan. Rolling in front. Saved by Healy. Made the save as Farmer came right down the middle and got a shot. Now Carpenter with it. Chicago zone. He shoots. It's blocked by Bob Murray. Carpenter goes behind the net. He's checked there. 7:19 left to go. Third period. 6-4. Kings ahead. Noonan down the right wing, steps across the blue line into the King zone. He's stopped there by Wells. Puck cleared by Carpenter. Taken by the Hawks. Gary Nyland drives it down into the King zone. Taken again by Nichols. He clears it high in the air into the Chicago zone. This is going to be icing as McGill goes back to touch it for the Blackhawks. 6:55 left, third period. Kings 6, Blackhawks 4. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Face off in the Kings zone to the left of goaltender Glenn Healy. Looking for second consecutive win for the Kings for the first time this season. Bob Murdoch, the Chicago coach, leaning up on standing with one foot up on the boards. Watching this face-off, Troy Murray facing off against Bob Bourne, but now I thought they were going to move Bourne out. Now he's back in. Troy Murray against Bourne. Murray wins the draw. Blue line, Doug Wilson, he shoots over the net. Puck comes off the boards. Doug Wilson chases it down with Bourne. Wilson holds it in, drives it in deep. It's kicked out in front by Troy Murray, but cleared by Paul Fenton. Hawks with it at center ice. McGill flips it into the over to the left side, and then Wilson throws it into the King zone. A hard check in the right wing corner. Puck comes all the way back into the Chicago zone, and Wilson back to get it. Another icing call against the Kings.
Well, this game, Bob, really has gone true to form. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, both clubs with hot special teams. Both clubs have scored on the power play tonight. Both clubs at the bottom in goals against. Chicago 20th, the Kings 21st. We've had 10 goals tonight. The Kings have 6 of them. The goaltending changed by Chicago after the Kings built a 3-0 lead before the first period was half over. Troy Murray back out to take the face-off for the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks controlling the play a little bit here now, the last 5 or 6 minutes, territorially, getting some good pressure on goaltender Glenn Healy.
Now right point shot by Doug Wilson is blocked by Healy on a nice save, and the puck is taken by Kennedy. Kennedy clears it up to center, and Kudelski chases it down the right wing. Kudelski cut off by Fraser. Bourne comes barreling in. Puck comes loose back behind the Chicago net. Vancouver lost tonight, so the Kings with a win could move out of last place. Across the King line, Troy Murray, but Chicago offside on the play.
So the King victory, they would up their record to 7-12-3, 17 points, and jump ahead of the Vancouver Canucks. Both clubs, after tonight's action, will have played 22 games. Daryl Sutter is to the left of Bob Murdoch on the Chicago bench, one of 6 Sutter brothers that played in the NHL. At the same time, of course, Daryl retired because of a knee problem. Of course, his younger brother, Dwayne, is with the club, but he is out with a knee injury.
Now at center ice, Ledyard drives it in the Chicago zone. Darren Pang, the goaltender, puts it around on the right wing side. Kings try to dig it out, but it is whistled dead there with 5:49 to go in the third period.
Well, the Kings the last 4 minutes, Bob, have done a pretty good job in their own zone. They really haven't pushed that panic button. They haven't been looking for that dangerous type of pass that has cost them in the past. And whenever they get the opportunity, they're just chipping it out. And when the opportunity is there, they're trying to put on pressure and make the play, but make the safe play.
Kings here Saturday night. Calgary Flames. Sunday night here at the Forum, the New Jersey Devils and the Kings. Tickets for those games available. Forum box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Carson wins the draw to Ledyard. He shoots, saved by Pang, and the rebound just out of the reach of Taylor. Puck is picked up now by Robitaille to Taylor. Tipped away, right wing corner. Taylor to Robitaille. Back to Taylor, Chicago zone. Taylor gets knocked down, and the puck taken by the Chicago Blackhawks up to center ice. Here is Mike Stapleton. Stapleton flips it high and off the glass. Rebound behind the King net. Loose puck taken there by Noonan. Noonan checked by Carson. Noonan with it again, left wing side. Drops it off in deep on the left side to Ludzik. Ludzik in front, and a shot deflected, picked up by the Kings, Jimmy Carson. Carson to center. Carson cut off of the red line by Bergevin, but he flips it into the Chicago zone. 6-4 Kings, 5 minutes to go in the third period. Here's Brian Noonan. Noonan fires it into the King zone. Chicago in a line change. Duchesne in to get it. Duchesne's pass up to Carpenter right in front of the King bench. Carpenter crosses the red line, flips it into the Chicago zone. Puck is taken by Gary Nyland for the Blackhawks now. Nyland up the left side, still with it to center, broken up by Duchesne. He tried to go with it before he got the puck. Came off his stick, and Wells shoots it in the Chicago zone. 4.5 minutes to go. Third period. Kings 6. Blackhawks 4. Up to center, Savard for Chicago. Down the right wing, into the King zone. Cuts to the left side. Savard stops, turns, passes in front. Broken up, but we got a penalty. Kings cross-checking. Uh-oh, look out now. Chicago on the power play. 4:18 to go, third period. and the Kings ahead 6-4. Wells will get the penalty for cross-checking. And we remind you, this game is coming to you live from the fabulous Forum.
Kings hockey is brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there's only one light beer, Miller Lite. And by Discount Tire Centers for championship performance and unbeatable prices. Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality.
Jay Wells in the penalty box, cross-checking at 15:42. So the league's top power play will try and crank it up one more time and get to within one. 4:18 left to play in the game. Kings 6, Blackhawks 4. Face off to the left of Healy. Savard is out to take it against Bob Bourne. Bourne, Kudelski, Duchesne, and Hardy. The quartet of players out for the Kings to try and kill off this penalty.
The report on Chicago's Wayne Presley is that he has a sprained left knee. Puck is taken off the face-off against the right wing boards in the King zone. Dug out by Larmer. Now the loose puck battled for. Who's got it? Chicago. Up the middle to the blue line to Doug Wilson on the right side to Noonan. Noonan on the power play. Noonan feeds it to Larmer. Larmer, right wing side. Drives it in back behind the net, then got it back again on the right side from Savard to Noonan to Doug Wilson to Noonan, top of the slot, right side. Larmer shoots high off the glass. Puck comes right out in front of the King net and cleared by Bob Bourne. That took a crazy hop off the glass.
Yeah, crazy hop and a King hop. They'll take it. 1:20 left in the penalty to Wells.
3:38 to go, third period. Kings 6, Blackhawks 4. Hawks with it across the King line, lose it to Hardy, and he clears it in the Chicago zone. Doug Wilson back to get it. Carpenter and Nichols up front for the Kings. Ledyard and Kennedy back. Here is Noonan down the right wing. Gives it to Rick Vive. Vive to Noonan. Noonan in behind the King net. He's checked there. Puck is picked up by Larmer. He lost it. Cleared by Kennedy.
Well, 3 times the Blackhawks have tried to get it set up, but each time the Kings have stripped them of the puck and cleared it down.
Here come the Hawks again. Troy Murray to the King line. Murray down the right wing. Murray pass in front. Left side off the stick there to Bourne, and he cleared it. It went off the stick on the left wing side in the Chicago zone of Rick Vive. Or in the King zone, I'm sorry. Vive had it. Now Fraser shooting, and a glove save by Healy. And the rebound, the whistle blew. The rebound came loose, but the referee lost sight of it. What a save by Healy there on the shot by Kurt Fraser.
Yeah, Healy did the splits, got a glove on it, but did not catch it cleanly. And I think the referee, Bob Hall, with that whistle may have thought that Healy gloved it cleanly, but really he never did have possession. Then he reached out to try and grab it. Fraser unloading from the left circle. Healy makes the save, and the puck is just outside his left leg. He tries to gather it in, but a pileup in front never does get control. It wound up in the corner to the right of Healy, but we already had the whistle. Kurt Fraser, who has a goal tonight, his second of the year, almost beat Healy on the glove side from about 35 feet.
Great shot on our simulcast. Gave you an idea of what it's like to stand in front of that shot. And now off the draw, the Kings win the faceoff in the King zone. It comes over to Hardy. Hardy up the center. Hardy sends it down the left side in the Chicago zone. 15 seconds left to go in the penalty to Jay Wells. 6-4 Kings. 2:25 to go, third period. Hawks with it. Here they come with 7 seconds to go on the power play. Pass to Noonan. Hardy trying to break it up. Hardy in the corner. Lost it there. Fraser with it for Chicago. Kings are back at full strength. Here's Noonan. Noonan bumped by Duchesne, who took it away. He gets it up to Wells. Wells bumped by Ben Wilson in the King zone. Now Duchesne with it again. Duchesne comes up the center and gives it now to Nichols. Nichols looks. Kings want a line change, and Bernie slips it into the Chicago zone. 2 minutes to go, third period. Don't forget our postgame show. Nick will talk with a player of the game. We'll have scores of other games and highlights. Puck comes back behind the King net. Taken there by Grant Ledyard. Cleared at the center. Chased into the Chicago zone by Taylor with a goaltender, Darren Pang, over to get it. He played it around the boards. 1:39 left, third period. Kings try to take it away. Chicago zone. It's cleared to center. Picked up by Ledyard. Ledyard slaps it right back into the Chicago goalie, Pang, who knocks it down. 1:30 to go, third period. 6-4 Kings. Saturday night, Calgary here will be on KLAC radio with our pregame talk show at 10 minutes to 7. Sunday night, New Jersey here. Kings with it. Ledyard to Robitaille, looking for the hat trick. He shoots a save by Pang. Robitaille got the backhander. Chicago with it. Vive, right wing. He shoots. Save by Healy, right through him and wide to the left. He put it right through Healy, but it went wide to the left. 1 minute to go, third period. 1 minute. 6-4 Kings. Hawks with it. Across the line, offside Chicago at the King blue line. 52 seconds remaining in the third period. Boy, Vive unloaded on the right wing on Healy, and it went right between his legs and went wide to the left side. Vive from the top of the right circle with a tremendous slap shot right through Healy and wide to the left, luckily for the Kings.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Vive really leaning into that one. Again, a reminder to all of you, this Saturday, November 28th, the United States Olympic team meets the Canadian Olympic team. They beat them last night 5-4, the U.S. did. Here at the Fabulous Forum at 1 o'clock. Everyone attending the Olympic match can redeem their ticket stubs for a free ticket to a Kings game through December 30th, subject to ticket availability.
Immediately following tonight's game.
Now ready on the draw, just outside the King blue line. The Hawks with it. Driven by Doug Wilson into the King zone. Here's Wells in the corner. The Chicago goalie is still in. Kings with it. Bourne clears it to center. 40 seconds to go, third period. Kings up by 2, 6-4. Trying to win their second in a row for only the first time this year. Up to center ice. Kurt Fraser, Chicago 3-on-2. Pass on the left wing. Chased in by Troy Murray. He's bumped by Dean Kennedy. 25 seconds to go in the period. Puck comes around the left side to Bourne. Can he clear it? Yes. Out to center ice and back into the Chicago zone. This is going to be icing, though, as Doug Wilson goes back to touch it. 16 seconds left in regulation. And Darren Pang coming over as Chicago wants a timeout. 16 seconds left in the third period. 12,349 here tonight. And Bob Murdoch wants to talk to his Chicago Blackhawks. They're going to pull the goaltender, I would imagine, right now with the faceoff down in the King zone and have the extra attacker. Bob Murdoch played defense here when Bob Pulford was coaching. Take a look at all the other scores in the NHL tonight. Calgary, only the New York Islanders were idle tonight. Darren Pang, the Chicago goaltender, is out of the net. 16 seconds left. Chicago net is empty, but the faceoff is in the King zone. Chicago with 6 attackers. The Kings will have Bernie Nichols to take the draw against Troy Murray. The Kings are up by 2 at 6-4 with only 16 seconds remaining in the third period. Here's an important face-off. Nichols against Troy Murray. Who's got it? Hawks in the middle. Savard shoots, deflected into the crowd. I think it was either Fox or Hardy that got their stick in front of it. 4 seconds ticked off the clock. 12 seconds left now. And the face-off will be right from the point where that was deflected, as Dennis Savard of Chicago will move in to face off against, I think, Bob Kudelski now comes out for the Kings. Right in the top of the slot in the King zone. 12 seconds left. Chicago lining up with Savard and Doug Wilson at the blue line. Troy Murray will take the draw. Kudelski, the rookie for the Kings. 6-4 Kings. 12 seconds to go. And on the draw, Chicago with it. Doug Wilson. Pass in front. Loose puck. Marmer with a shot. Blocked. Rebound shot wide. 4 seconds to go. Kings to the blue line. Doug Wilson shoots. Save. Game is over. Kings win it. Well, it looked like one of those shots got through to Healy right in the closing seconds. He knocked it down, and a lot of congratulations by the Kings for rookie goaltender Glenn Healy. Kings have won 2 in a row for the first time this year. They're the last team in the league to accomplish it. They move out of last place in the Smythe division. So the Kings with a victory, and we'll be right back. The Kings win at 6. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. In this game tonight. So for Nick Nixon, this is Bob Miller. We thank you very much for joining us tonight. The Kings win it 6-4, and we invite you to have a happy Thanksgiving and join us for Kings Wrap-Up, which follows immediately.
Hello again, everybody. Back here at the Fabulous Forum, where the Los Angeles Kings have just defeated the, well, who did they play? The Chicago Blackhawks. Thinking about all the turkey I'm going to eat tomorrow. 6-4 is the final, and Jimmy Carson is our player of the game. He has a goal and 2 assists. James, a couple of more 3-goal leads. I guess the more you get, the more you're going to learn how to hold them.
Well, that's exactly right. We've had a lot of experience in the last couple weeks and leads, so I'm glad that we played a solid third period and we held it.
Now, going into the game, I guess you would expect that there would be some offense generated. Chicago with the #1 power play. The Kings have been red hot on the power play. 12 power play goals the last 4 games. What's been the turnaround?
I just think execution, of course, Bernie Nichols. Bernie and Bobby Carpenter have just been playing great, and they've been scoring a lot of power play goals. And once we get a couple, we all get confidence, and then everyone starts executing. We all start getting them.
Now, it was 3-0 Kings. The Blackhawks came back to make it 3-2, and I thought you got the big key goal to make it 4-2 and really put the game away.
Well, I dropped it to Jimmy Fox, and he sort of lost it there, but luckily for us, Dean Kennedy just held it in at the blue line there. He took a shot. I got a pretty good deflection there, and then the rebound came right to me, and I just smacked her in. Then I got creamed.
The kid, Darren Pang, relieving Bob Mason, came up with some good saves.
Well, I know I got one on him. I could have had another 3 or 4. He was, you know, outstanding against me. He made some really good saves, and I'm happy I got one by him.
He got cranked pretty good by Ben Wilson when you scored the goal. I guess you take the goal and take the hit. You don't mind that.
It's worth it. You know, goal scorers have to pay that price, and I'm happy.
Now, the Kings home for the next 4. This is the start of a 5-game homestand. You've won 2 in a row for the first time all year. You really want to build on this, don't you?
Of course. We have to, in order to be a good team, we have to be consistent. And we haven't been consistent this year. So if we can start playing solid hockey and put some wins together, then we'll be doing really well.
Now, the next opponents this weekend for the Los Angeles Kings, the Calgary Flames. Big, tough, strong. They can score.
Well, they sure are scoring, and we're going to have to play a really good defensive game. Up in Calgary, we got in a shootout. We lost 10-7. We don't want to do that. They've been scoring 9 and 10 a game, it seems like, lately. So we got to play very solid, and hopefully we play like tonight and beat them.
Your folks are out here for the holidays. How do you have a Greek Thanksgiving? What do you stuff the turkey with, baklava or what?
Just a lot of turkey. I don't know we stuff it, just a lot of turkey.
All right, Jimmy Carson, our player of the game, with 3 points, a goal, and 2 assists. The Kings win it by a final score of 6-4. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
If you were stranded on an island,
Made it California Chevrolet dealer. By Miller Genuine Draft, cold-filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. By Discount Tire Centers. For championship performance and unbeatable prices, Discount Tire Centers. We cut prices, not quality. By Great Western's family of companies, over $28 billion in assets, 100 years strong. We'll always be there. And by Avis, who invite you to go in style with a new Cadillac or similar luxury car for only $45 a day. Remember, your other car is an Avis.
Live from the Fabulous Forum, the Los Angeles Kings will try to stop the most surprising team in the NHL this season, the New Jersey Devils. Hi, everybody. This is Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon. This will be the first meeting of the season between these two teams, and we're kind of anxious to take a look at this version of the New Jersey Devils. Last year, the Kings beat them twice in 3 games. Both of those Kings wins were here on Forum ice, and as a matter of fact, going back to the start of the Devils franchise, it goes all the way back to Kansas City, then Colorado, then New Jersey. They have always had